Hey, we did it.
Hey,
We're here.
we did it.
We're here.
It's happening.
Look at all these beautiful people.
Wow.
This is very exciting. There's a lot of people, I think, watching us. I mean, maybe not a million, but it's a lot.
Oh, no.
It feels like a lot.
Oh no.
Hello, all.
Pia's in the chat.
Yes,
Pia's in the chat.
Pia, my man, Pia. How are all you guys? As though we haven't been talking for 20 minutes already. Are you all excited?
Doing
Excited.
great.
Yes.
I am very excited. Thank you all for coming, all of you folks out there that are watching us. This is super exciting. We're trying something new. Second show launching at Twitch TV DM Philly. This is crazy. So I feel like a lot of people know who a lot of you are, but probably everybody doesn't know everybody. So we should take a second here and maybe go around and say hello. So why don't we start in a circular fashion, and we will go, of course, counterclockwise because I have to be a contrarian. In the top left, Kevin, why don't you say hello and just tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Myself or my character? Which one are we
Both. How about
talking
both?
about?
How about both those things to whatever degree you feel good?
Sure. So I'm Kevin Monadeo. Hello, everyone. I'm just a general nerd geek that some people who are listening probably know me from Post-Show Recaps, a podcast that I am part of, along with some of the people on here, and one Josh Wiggler, who is probably not here. But yeah, conducting podcasts about nerdy stuff. Specifically for me, it is superhero-based things, and most recently, Mighty Ducks. So that's generally my thing. My character is Nick Shivdar. I am a doctor in training in the City of Mist that we will be the game we will be sitting in. And yeah, I'm from an immigrant family. There's going to be a lot of similarities between me and this character, so prepare for some of that stuff. Yeah, that's the intro I'll give so far.
It is the gist
Should have
of
read
it.
this down. Would have been smoother.
I just want to say I'm loving the Mighty Ducks podcast at Post Show Recaps, and I've been having a lot of fun. You got me like right down the rabbit hole. Watched all 3 movies this week. Watched the new episode. I'm in.
Quack.
That's the wrong genre. Your co-host, Melissa Woodward, definitely in the chat as well. Hello. Glad to see her. Yeah,
Right.
I'm excited.
The awesome Melissa Woodward.
She is awesome. I'm really excited about Nick. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with him. Doctor, medical student, hands of healing. I'm excited about this. Cool.
Hands of other things, too.
Heyo.
Yeah. Underneath you is my dear friend, Taylor. Taylor, hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm Taylor. I'm on. I don't know if any of you know me from the D&D show that we do Mondays. But yeah, I am also a nerd. I think maybe that's something we all have in common here. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, I'm really excited to play this because I really only play D&D as an RPG, like board game, tabletop. So I'm super excited to get into something a little bit different. And I play Lyra Barlow, who is your street urchin, really edgy, emotional brick wall. Please don't look at me type. So I'm really excited to just embody that. I'm ready.
I am too. There's like big energy similar to my D&D character, my old D&D character. They're dead now. But yeah, there was like a lot of that same, like, please don't look at me kind of energy. So like, I'm really excited. Lyra definitely channeling Andromeda's Vesk. It's good stuff. I'm psyched to have you here, Taylor. Yes, tomorrow night we're going to play some D&D Firelight Tales. That's fun. But eerie, very different from Lyra.
Very.
Underneath you, the man with the red, Sheldon.
Hi, I'm Sheldon Price. Again, I'll just underline that, yes, I am also a nerd like the other people who have gone before me. I do host a podcast, not on the Post Show Recap, sadly, but I host a podcast with my wife where we break down British pop culture and TV called the Anglo Files. It's cute. It's fun. My wife makes me try a new British snack every week, and it's a lot of fun to do a podcast with your partner. Highly recommend it. But in this game, I'm playing a character named Jonathan Keeley, and he is a crime scene photographer, a bit greasy, a bit slimy. Only lives at night, doesn't really come out during the day, but he knows everybody. Everybody on every corner, they've heard of him, whether it's a police officer or a homeless man or just a family of four. You've seen this guy kind of wandering around the streets at night.
I love the idea of a family of four is all just like, oh god, it's Jonathan.
It's Jonathan Keeley. Cool. Well, I'm like really excited to have you here, Sheldon. It's been fun getting to know you while we're setting this whole thing up. I'm up in the top right. Nobody cares about me. Let's talk about Zed. Hello, Zed.
Oh, see, I thought we were going in a circle.
We were. I just broke the pattern because I can't follow my own instructions. I'm not good at instructions.
Oh, I'm very good in the blending in the
Todd the
background.
librarian. Todd's like blowing up subs for everybody. Thank you, Todd. Thank you very much.
Yeah, shout out to Todd.
And Sabotage
Yes.
the DM. You guys are too kind today.
Boy, y'all are great. So I am Escher Maximore, who is a documentary filmmaker. Pretty quiet and keeps to themselves most of the time, but also absolutely unstoppable if they need an answer to a question or to follow up a lead, to figure something out. And they really believe in the power of creating these films to wake people up to what's going on and believe in the ability of humanity to change once they become aware of the things that Escher feels like they can see happening all around. So that's their deal.
It's very close to my heart, and I'm excited about it. I'm like super psyched to have you here playing games with us. You've very recently fallen in love with D&D. It's fair to say you're pretty well in love.
Yeah, that's certainly accurate. Had a couple close brushes with death recently, thanks to Pia in the chat, but whose character is also my character's best friend in life. So we're having a great time. Lots of new relationships being created, new friendships over the virtual game table. I guess I didn't actually introduce myself. If there's folks out there who don't know who I am. I'm known around this corner of the internet as Brooklyn Zed, co-host with Josh on post-show recaps on the Final Fantasy podcast, where Josh is pushing me through various Final Fantasy games. We finished Final Fantasy VII recently, which was a joy, and have moved on to Final Fantasy VIII, which is also happening. That's kind of where I'm at with that right now. And that's where you can find me.
I love that podcast, though I'm woefully behind, as you well know. But yeah, like my whole Monday night D&D game is very much inspired by like video games, JRPGs from the 90s. You gotta love some Final Fantasy. It's a really good podcast. You guys should go check it out. And so with that, last but certainly not least, the tabulator himself, the man in the bottom right, Kurt. How are you?
Hey, Rich. How are you?
Hello. Good morning.
Kurt Clark here. You might know me maybe in podcast circles for watching stuff nobody else does and dooming it to one season.
Tanking it.
Yes.
Tanking, yes.
Yes.
I am the tank of the podcast. Looks like we're kicking off Top Chef coverage next weekend, though, so that's going to be fun. And yeah, around these parts, Taylor and I play alongside her as Angus the Minotaur Bard on the Monday night stream, Titans airs. Mm-hmm. And here I am playing Iggy Bolton. Iggy's he's really into food. I guess tying it back to the Top Chef podcast. He's trained in gourmet cooking. He's a private chef. He's good with knives. Not that I'm sure that won't come into use at any point. No. But yeah, he's a helpful little guy.
He's very helpful. I'm curious how tall he is now that you called him little. I wonder if he's taller than me or not, because I am not a tall man. But he's 5'7". Oh yeah, he's definitely taller than me.
Holy
it's not that little.
No, that's not little.
Nope. Cool. Well, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Rich Filiberto. I go by many things, Philly, but here at Twitch, I am DM Philly. I am the Dungeon Master, the Game Master. In City of Mist, we call it the Master of Ceremonies, the MC. We're trying out something different. City of Mist is a really cool game. It's very narrative focused. They like to say it's a game of words, not numbers. There are no stats on these wonderful people's character sheets. Their character sheets are made up of a bunch of themes, and they're balancing their real lives, their everyday lives, which they have described to you already so wonderfully, with the mythic abilities of beings from legends and lore, from literature and the great stories of old. And they're in this City of Mist, a place of mysteries. It's very much inspired by like detective style noir films, and it's a very like cinematic style of game, the way it's built. So I've run it a handful of times. I am no expert here. Our wonderful cast, we're all learning together. So have some patience and bear with us as we get into the mix of things. We're going to be learning as we play. I think that's part of the fun of this, is that we get to like kind of go through all of this together. You guys can like learn this game with us as we're figuring it out. It's a really cool game. If you're into it, go check it out. I think it's Son of Oak Studios are the publishers. Really cool company. They're making very cool stuff. And so with that, I'm going to say to the rest of you guys, do you have any questions? Is there anything major we should go over before we start? Nope. This is what happens every time.
Let's just do whatever's about to happen.
Yep. This is what happens every time I ask that question. And so I think then, let us frame the scene. I think that the camera opens and we're over the bay. We see the reflection of the city lights off the water beneath us as it sort of pans up, taking in the skyline of these towering buildings of glass, reflecting the neon lights of billboards and marquees and store signs all around us. And there is a fog, a mist, perhaps we might say, permeating everything, diffusing these lights in the thousand ways that fog does. Cars racing down streets, traffic lights changing, construction crews working, the dull hum of the noise of a metropolis and all that entails, voices and sounds, the myriad of things that overwhelm the senses in the urban world. And I think that the camera kind of swooping over all of this begins to pull down in tight near the docks. We see freighters and ships arrayed out along the water, but it's the flashing, the distinctive flashing of red and blue lights, the lights of police cars and ambulance service workers, as we kind of close in, realizing that we see a crime scene before us. Uniformed officers standing around what looks like a grisly, brutal murder. Blood has been spilled, violence has been done here, and I think that the camera like pans just the slightest bit, and we see the classic black Escalade windows tinted, so inconspicuous as to be conspicuous in this kind of bodacious array of color that's kind of surrounding and suffusing us, right? And these two figures getting out from the driver's side and shotgun doors. We see the lights of the police cars reflected in their mirror shades, which they're wearing as the sun begins to sink over the western horizon. And with that, I think we hear and a motorcycle races by, the camera following it. Some blocks quickly, time and distance being covered in a blink of a span, and we see the sign in front of us, the Paragon Athenaeum Public Library. And as the camera kind of pulls away from this motorcyclist and pulls up over the majestic marble steps and the pillars and kind of colonnades that lead to this public library, it pulls through a window where we see a woman very tall, wearing kind of cat's-eye spectacles, long blonde hair cascading down around her shoulders, over her back, and she walks with a cart of books, just taking them off and kind of individually reshelving them. The clacking of her heels on the marble floor, like distinctive in this kind of quiet environment. And the door behind her opens, her head turning, and we see her eyes go wide for a moment before the shot cuts. We fade to black. And as we kind of fade back in, I think we see the silhouette of a figure sitting at a desk, a power desk. Monitors kind of arrayed in front of them, glass and brass beside them. We see in the side of what looks like a sort of opulent, lavishly apportioned kind of office, perhaps, a massive glass tank. Inside of it, a serpent, a constrictor of some kind. And it's got itself wrapped around the writhing form of some poor rodent that has been placed in this tank as its meal for this day. And like splayed out before the silhouette of this person, we see they have blonde hair, broad shoulders, magnificent looking kind of suit that they're wearing. We don't see their face, but before them is this wall of glass looking out to the west over the skyline, the fog, the neon, and we see the sun sinking and sinking until it vanishes. And it's at this point that the figure picks up a phone, the light washing kind of past them towards the camera behind, this almost kind of halo radiating around their back. And I think that the camera zooms into the screen of the phone as we see the text message typing out. I told you to take care of it. I don't care if they're in the way. I own them. Get it done. And with that, we fade to black again. And as the camera refocuses, they're all terrified about who I'm going to put on the spot now.
Also, the taking care of part.
Yeah.
I'm sure the them that was referred to is not at all us.
Yeah, we're fine.
This is an important note. This game is cinematic. We see things that your players do not. And because you all are, MOTPD is here, holy cow, because you all are such sophisticated professional role players, I'm sure you're going to be able to distinguish what you know from what your characters know. But as the scene fades to black from this office, this mysterious individual taking care of business every day, I think that we come back in on Nick Shivdar. Kevin, where do we find Nick?
If we're starting the library, I think what you come into is down over the shoulder. You see Nick looking at a book. As the camera pans up his back, before you can see what's inside the book, he quickly closes it, shoves it back on the shelves, and emerges from the aisles of the library. You do see he emerged from a section called Religion, and is continuing outward, just looking around to see if he recognizes anyone from this group that he might know, to see if anybody else has arrived at the library, as he got here a little bit early to do just a bit of research on something.
Excellent. I think as you scan the area for these friends of yours that you've made recently due to circumstances, you don't see any of them there yet. You hear the footsteps of the librarian kind of walking away from you over towards the entrance of the building, as it were. But I suppose that it's at this moment that the scene fades again, and we cut coming in on Lyra. Where do we find you as you're supposed to meet with your friends at the library tonight?
I think Lyra is probably running a little bit late. And you kind of see her hood up, her black, shaggy hair with the, her faded, blue on the ends, her blue eyeliner, face tucked into this hood, all black, walking out of the Acrobat studio, which is called The Cast. As she has been befriended, and the owner of said acrobat studio. And she's walking out while she waves silently and stalks along the street towards the library. And eventually, as she gets there, she just pushes the door open and quickly goes and finds a seat and just crosses her arms with her hood pulled down a little bit.
Okay. Shrouded in darkness. Very decisive. Gosh, that was intimidating, Lyra. And so, yeah, the camera kind of like panning. Maybe we see Nick catching sight of Lyra as she arrives and stalks over to the familiar table that the five of you often inhabit, where you were on that fateful day, maybe just over a month ago. And just before we can see what happens there, the camera fades again to black, and we come back in on one Jonathan Keeley. Where is Jonathan?
I think Jonathan is coming up to the library steps right now, and he's loudly complaining to like himself, to the heavens, about how he wasn't allowed in the crime scene, the down at the docks, and he's just kind of yelling out to himself, or muttering more than anything. Like, I'm a crime scene photographer, that's what I do. Like, I don't work for the police, no, but I work with the police. They've seen me there. Like, this is a thing. I should be there. I'm gonna go back later tonight. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get it. And he's just kind of muttering to himself as he comes in.
Okay. And with that, like, I think that yeah, you two in the library probably hear the voice of your associate, like, muttering to himself, like these low rambling tones as he like makes his way in. And I think that you see Lyra sitting kind of hood over her head, hunched down, tense at the table. You might catch sight of Nick making his way out from the stacks when we fade once more, and we come back in on Escher Maximore. Where is Escher?
Running late, lost track of time, still in their apartment, despite constantly sitting on their computer working on editing footage for this documentary with a camera or with a clock staring them right in the face, not paying any attention to it, busy with their project in their world, suddenly realizes they've got to get to the library. Throw some coffee in a to-go mug. There's always coffee, always more coffee. Grab the coffee, slam the laptop shut, pick up the laptop, grab a bag, grab the coffee, like arms full, and then like carefully like walk out the door looking very cool. And like a brisk walk to get to the library as if they intended to arrive late, and not because they cannot manage their time very well.
And so as you come in, like with your many things kind of gathered about you, yeah, you see like Jonathan was there not that much earlier than you. As they're like approaching the table, Lyra sitting there, Nick coming up out of the stacks, and it's at this point you all realize like, oh yeah, the four of you are here, but where is Iggy?
Yeah, I'm not last, so I'm not late.
I think that, do we hear Escher like say that? Is that the line?
Lyra like scoffs from underneath her hood.
And so finally we cut to black again, opening back up on Iggy.
Iggy is in a Korean grocery store 2 blocks away from the library. He's picking up some. He's just went through checkout. He's putting some spices he was running low on into his backpack. But he's also putting in. He picked up some soft drinks for the crew. Some classic Korean soft drinks such as Bacchus D, Powdo Aloe, Pororo Friends fruit flavored drink. I may have Googled this. And so he's got a backpack full of Korean soft drinks as well. He realizes he's running a little late. He figures if he's not going to be there promptly, he can at least bring refreshments for everybody. So he kind of hitches the backpack over his shoulder and marches the remaining 2 blocks to the library.
Very thoughtful. Iggy is a real supportive individual. And so with that, you come like striding up the like wide marble steps past these columns into the doors of the Paragon Athenaeum Public Library. And you kind of see your four associates just kind of gathering over at the table. And so, is there a conversation here?
I brought beverages. I brought beverages.
All right, we got what? Alcohol, caffeine, what?
The Bacchus D is kind of like Red Bull, and he slides that across the table to you.
You know, the taurine intake in there is actually pretty unhealthy for. You know what? It's fine.
I've already
go ahead.
I think the key word in fruit flavor is fruit, not flavor.
Sure, that's one way of looking at it. I think some people at my job might disagree, but that's okay. Iggy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
All right. Long shift this morning, but pretty busy. And as Nick says this, looks over at Escher, helping as many people as I can at the hospital. Trying to do good. Besides,
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know, just stating it. I know some people here seem not to like big pharma and all that. Just saying it's not what all of us are there for. Not just trying to make money, just trying to do some good.
Uh-huh.
Well,
very admirable.
Yeah, good job, Nick. Did you find anything over there, by the way?
What do you over where? What do you mean?
You're gonna pretend you weren't just looking around in the religion section?
Oh, I thought you meant like in the hospital.
lots of things in the hospital. Lots of things to be found there.
A lot of things there.
Yeah, just doing some reading. I have a religious thing coming up that my mom wants to throw. We have a lot of those. So just wanted to do some research to come in right. My mom's always happy whenever I have some knowledge about our
a
our
lot of
culture.
those religious things that you can't Google. You usually go to the library for those.
Well,
yeah.
Figure we're here. Might do some actual reading.
How early did you get here today?
That's the
Nick?
question.
Not too early. I mean, I got off about 20 minutes ago, so only been here 10 minutes really. Just a quick browse around. How about you guys? Why are we know why Iggy's late? Why are you late, Escher?
Just lost track of time, busy working myself. Just because we don't work in a hospital doesn't mean we don't do important work, Nick.
Fair enough.
I mean, honestly, I would have been here even later, but cops again,
Yeah, you were mumbling on your way in, Jonathan. You doing okay?
They didn't let me in. There's a big old crime scene, like a big one, and I go there as always, and they don't even let me in. So,
What makes a crime scene big? Like, is it a lot of bodies or like one body just?
oh no, number of police cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the amount of police they send, the amount of like ambulances. If there's ambulance and fire trucks, I'm gonna get good pictures there. They wouldn't even let me get close tonight.
A lot of you would all know that over the course of the last month, there have been at least 3 like vicious, brutal murders down in the area of the docks. Jonathan in particular is very like keyed into them and has been like digging at them as he could. But yeah, as he mentions this other one, like this would make 4.
Huh.
Jonathan, do they think this was the work of the same individual as the other ones?
Like, man, the cops are being real like tight-lipped about this one. I've been hammering away, but like I'm gonna say yes without saying yes. Like that's I'm feeling it. I feel it in my bones. It's got to be connected. They're being real weird about it.
When people don't want to tell you things, that's when you should keep asking questions.
Or you could send somebody to eavesdrop. Just
Don't
saying.
you have a special lens where you could take photos from far away?
Yeah, but then you get noticed. I like my camera phone, like right in my pocket, in and out, boom, boom, boom.
Convenient. Yeah. I'm just
Like-
saying, like, I see you stalking around a lot. If you ever need somebody to, sneak in there, I'm usually bored, so give me something to do.
They're there right now. I'm just saying.
What are you guys doing tonight other than this?
Right.
Nick looks at his phone just to make sure that he hasn't been called in, which he has not been. So I guess nothing for me at this moment. Are you implying we should sneak into an active crime scene?
I think at this moment, as like Nick drops this inquiry, Jonathan is like smiling, nodding, right? I think you guys hear the like clacking of the heels of the librarian as she kind of approaches, and I think that you hear this voice, her voice kind of light and distinct, like, oh, hello, I didn't know all of you were here.
She definitely did.
Yeah.
And as you kind of turn taking her in, she's this very tall woman with these like cat's eye spectacles, right? I think that she has like a silver necklace with like kind of like a pen hanging off of it, like this very like kind of lovely looking silk blouse, this long dress, like black kind of pointed shoes, right? And she's holding like a bundle of books in one hand, and she's like, she glances around a little bit and she's like, actually, I'm very glad to see you all together here. I don't want to alarm you exactly, but there have been people coming by asking about you. Well, ever since last month, I'd seen a few men that had come. They almost looked like officials of some type, black suits, black ties, sunglasses, large watches.
That seems good.
She says, I approached one of them last week and he left very hastily. He had no words for me. He just got up and walked right out when I asked him if I could help with something, and I found that very strange. Many people who come here, well, all sorts come here really. Some just seeking shelter and warmth, and others seeking knowledge, stories, something to escape. But even the ones who don't want help, they're not usually that standoffish, that touchy. But just last night, someone came in asking if, well, they didn't use your names, but if there were a group of people here last month on, well, that day.
And what did you tell them?
I tried not to reveal too much, but, well, I said that there are many people here every day, and that it's hard for me to remember all of them.
Oh. Did they say anything, like leave contact information, or
Are they coming back?
That's the strangest part. I asked them for a card. I assumed that if they were looking for somebody, they would want me to tell them if you arrived, but they didn't. No, they would give me nothing. They gave the impression of law officers, perhaps detectives. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Did any of you notice anything walking in? John, you didn't see anybody?
I mean, no, man. But seeing a cop wouldn't surprise me. I see them all the time.
Yeah.
Do you
so
think
it
that
could
they
be
don't have
somebody
down
I
at the
knew.
docks?
But
No?
that's what I'm like. It could be somebody I know. I don't know, man.
So this is an interesting point. I'm just going to step in as the storyteller here to talk to you guys about some of the things you can do. So once per session, each of you may invoke what is called a flashback, where you literally describe an action that your character took out before the current moment, right? So this is the kind of thing where, like, if Jonathan wanted to flash back to just moments ago before he walked into the library as he was approaching this place, and then possibly it sounds like it might be a move of investigate. You might be able to, like, gather information about something that happened before. If you wanted to do that thing, you do not have to.
Yeah, I think I'll try that.
Okay. So yeah, why don't you just, like, set the scene for us as you're approaching again? Suddenly, like, the camera, like, cuts back out of, like, this group sitting around the table, the kind of librarian, tall, thin, looming up over them, and we see Jonathan on the street again. But what do we see this time that we didn't notice before?
I think he takes the back ways a lot of the times. Like, he doesn't take the streets and the sidewalk. He knows a lot of shortcuts, and so I think he's going up an alley and in an alleyway where normally, like, foot traffic isn't noticed. And as he's coming up, I think he does see like a couple of those men in suits, like, huddled together, kind of whispering, like in front of the library steps, not like right in front of the door, but I think, like, you can kind of see a couple of men in suits in the near vicinity.
Excellent. So check it out. In City of Mist, when you guys do things, you earn, like, clues. When you make the investigate move, normally you earn a clue, and so a clue is literally the ability for you to ask me, as the player asking the storyteller, a question about the world, and it has to be within the context of the thing that happened. So this is you just kind of, like, eyeing these suits, these, like, black suits and mirror shades down by the stairs. So is there a question that, like, Jonathan would have about them? Is there something that you want to ask me to, like, interrogate the fiction so I can, like, empower you with some knowledge here?
Yeah, I think Jonathan wants to, like, did they look like law enforcement officials that he recognizes? Like, can he spot what, like, division they might be from, or, like, is he able to kind of ascertain from looking at them what organization they might work for?
Excellent. So to that, I will say to you, Jonathan is well trained in the ways of the law at night, and, like, moving around these crime scenes, dealing with people in this line of work often. And so even the ones that, like, don't wear badges openly, they're, like, distinctive signs of, like, the vest, the gun, the holster under the shoulder. And while they very much, like, have that sort of surface aesthetic of what you might perceive as, like, an agent, fed, something like that, as he, like, notes the car next to them and the rest of them, like, those things don't seem apparent. It doesn't seem like they're wearing vests. It doesn't seem like there's any identification. There's no like, even, like, interior, like, kind of dashboard light in the car. Like, I think that you get the impression that they're not what they seem necessarily.
Interesting. Interesting. Can I get closer and try to, like, look in the car?
Nope. I think that was, like, your burned question. Yeah, to be cool. Like, are they cops? What's up? And the answer to that is no. But with that, we, like, watch him, like, oh gosh, and make his way up into the doors of the library, and the scene, like, snaps back to the five of you at the table, the librarian standing over you.
I saw guys outside, like, guys. I don't know. There were weird guys, like, cops but not cops. Like, they've got this air of authority about them, but, like,
government, FBI, CIA,
something like that. But, like, none that, like, all right, look, if they were somebody I knew, I recognized, I would lay it down. But, like, I don't know if I should be, like, honored or scared right now, because I don't know these guys and they're after us. But they're not.
You said they were outside?
So you think they know that we're in here now?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
We should probably go.
We should leave. That seems like the right call. We should definitely get out of here.
Like, show of hands, who's done something wrong recently? I mean, who hasn't done something wrong recently?
All right, Iggy. All right. I'm sorry. What's your name? Myra, like, looks at the librarian.
Me?
What's your name? Yeah, you.
Zelda.
Zelda?
Yes.
Like the video game, like the video game, right?
Yes,
Like
the
Yep.
Legend of
video
Zelda.
game. Yes.
You got it, Nick. Like the video
Yes.
game.
I've never played the video game. I
there,
far prefer books.
is there like a back entrance or something?
Or exit.
Oh,
I mean, there is,
Skylight.
but it's not. I think it sounds like you want to try to convince her to show you a way out of here.
Yes.
And so I think this is a thing in City of Mist. So like when your actions describe something that triggers a move, we look to the move. So I think that you're going to try to use the move, convince Lyra. Is that what's happening here? You want to convince Zelda
Yes.
to like show you the back way out?
Yes.
Okay. So
Me and my very charismatic
So
self.
when you use your abilities to talk, threaten, or seduce somebody into doing something, you make a roll. The rolls, the only dice we roll in this game are 2d6. All the characters have power tags. They have these things about their characters that are attributes that are exceptional and relevant to the situation. So I say to you, Lyra, as you're going to try to convince Zelda, are there which power tags are relevant to this roll?
Oh boy. I mean, I guess the Lyra does not have a lot in ways of persuasion.
No, which is why I love
but
that
our-
she's the one who's doing this, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
the answer might be 0.
It might be.
Well, but we do have our group, which is the library.
That's right. Your crew theme, the Truth Seekers, one of the power tags for your crew theme is the library. So certainly you could use that right here. If you use it, it gets burned for until you're able to recover it. But that's okay. That's certainly an option.
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay. So you're going to call on library, so you can click that. We sure there's nothing else here? I'm looking at this stuff.
Would my, like, I don't know. I don't really know if there's much else. Like, I don't know if my, like, emotional fortress would help
I don't
me.
think Emotional Fortress helps you in this scenario,
Helpful.
but I'll give you this one. I think perhaps sees that which is hidden. You've been here a lot, and so you might already have like a bead on where it is. You just need her to maybe unlock the door or like get, so we'll let you incorporate that one. Are there any weakness tags that are relevant here? Okay, so each of you has weakness tags. Now, you can call on them. This is how your characters advance. Whenever you call on your weakness tags and they get used in a roll, we mark attention on that theme. I can call on them. And I think I'm calling on paranoia right here.
Oh, yeah.
I
definitely.
think Lyra's paranoia is like kicking into gear, and there's like a little more intensity kind of coming into this.
For sure.
So you have 2 power tags of sees that which is hidden and the library, and then 1 weakness tag. So you're basically rolling with a power of 1, 2d6 plus 1. So yeah,
Great.
mark those off and just go for it. Click convince up in the top.
Okay.
Hey now, great success.
Hey!
Great success. So for the people out there in the chat trying to keep along, we're rolling 2d6. We have these modifiers based on power tags, weakness tags, statuses, story tags. You'll get a feel for it as we go. But the idea is a roll of 6 or less is a miss. A roll of 7 to 9 is called a weak hit, and a roll of 10 or higher is a strong hit. So this is a strong hit. Now, this is where we like throw it at you, Lyra. So the idea is that you're basically trying to convince her to let you out the back door, to give you like the exit out of this place where you all can sneak away. And the thing is, you're going to come up with a status that you will apply to her, just like your power tags. It's abstract, like you might make her nervous or uncomfortable or pressured if she does not comply, and that will affect everything that comes going forward, because I get to choose whether she like succumbs to like your request or whether she takes this status. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
So what's the status that you would be applying?
Yeah, I was gonna say like uncomfortable. Yeah,
You're basically like threatening Zelda the librarian with either like becoming very uncomfortable or just like helping you to like get out of here, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that she's like, well, it's not entirely appropriate, but I know you all have been through a bit recently, and I really did not like the way that they just tread in this place. The library is a sacred place. This is a repository of knowledge and lore, and thousands of lives live in this place. Come on, I'll show you. And so with that, she like leads the lot of you. Is there anything else happening here? She's gonna like lead you all out.
Iggy makes sure that he picks up any discarded beverage containers.
What a conscientious fellow. And so I think that with the like click clack of like Zelda's heels, these black pointed shoes like kind of clacking their way across this marble floor of this place, the aroma of the many books, the papers, aged and weathered, kind of filling the space up, the shadows that you guys are kind of cutting through of the looming stacks in the back. She brings you this way and that, turning around, turning this way, and then like down a short flight of stairs where there's like other stairs leading further into the basement and then the door. And I think she like takes the key out of like a keyring in her pocket and kind of like unlocks the back door, which you all know like it might be weird that the emergency exit is locked, but she unlocks the back door and she's like, good luck. If they come back, I'll be sure to let you know.
Thanks for helping us.
Thank you, Zelda.
Nick pauses before he leaves and turns back and is just like, you said what we've been through. Do you know what happened to us?
I think like she kind of like awkwardly freezes up here for a minute. And for the sake of things, because we're playing this game for the first time, I think that this might be you making like an investigate move, Nick. Investigate is very broad. You could use it to like investigate a crime scene, to gather research, but you're looking for answers to questions. And she like kind of like freezes right up, deer in the headlights. Her eyes go wide behind the cat's eye spectacles. So it's the same kind of deal. When you use your abilities to seek out answers to burning questions, roll plus power. So what power tags are relevant here as you're going to try to investigate what Zelda may know?
That is a solid question. I am not good at any of this.
It's okay.
Part.
Diving into things.
Yeah.
A lot of information to remember right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Before we're like familiar with putting it into use.
Well, that's it. We're all like just figuring it out, right? Like part of me is like, yeah, let's use the rules. Like this is how we're gonna figure it out. But it is a lot, right? Like So yeah, take a second, look through your power tags. Now it's worth noting, because Lyra used the library from your crew theme, like that's burned until it gets recovered, right?
Yep.
But yeah, she's like just kind of frozen for a minute, like, well,
can you use cross
yes.
book tags?
Yes,
okay.
you can pull tags from any of your themes and mix and match them as you like.
Interesting.
Try something then. Since I'm asking her a question, and in terms of like getting information, sort of like on a personal area, but the comment I made about her name and being able to be like, oh hey, the video game, I'm using Keeping Up with Pop Culture as a bonus because of that ability to like form a quick like, oh hey, so into my personality tag.
Okay, I dig it.
And you can tell me that this doesn't work, but if this is a fictional world, I'm going to go with fictional world like TV and movies. Since I know human anatomy as a specialty, specifically in doctors, I'm going to pull from Lie From Me and be able to say that my expertise in that area allows me to see small things like movement of eyes or like fidgeting of hands to
like
see
body
if there's something
language.
like...
I think it's a reach, but
Okay.
I'm going to be liberal for now as we're getting a handle on it. Like, I think it works. All right, so you're going to use human anatomy, a similar, or Keeping Up with Pop Culture, so you're rolling with a +2 power, right?
Yes,
So check it out.
But at the same time, if you want to use a weakness tag on me, I won't say
Gosh.
no, because I think my personality weakness tag could totally
I'm
work.
tempted. I'm tempted here. But so your weakness tag is tries too hard. Nick is a little bit of a try hard. And I think that, like, as much as you called on the Zelda thing, like, it's clear she gets this a lot and doesn't love it, you know, so she's maybe a little more standoffish. So yeah, this is how the sheet works, Kevin. Like, you can click the check boxes right next to them and that'll add automatically into the roll. Does that make sense?
Oh, can I roll my own dice, or do we want to keep?
I think keep it on Roll20, because then our stream can see it and it actually gives us the answers. Sure. So go for tries too hard, assimilated with pop culture and human anatomy.
Human anatomy.
I love it. That's a good one. The lie detector.
It works on TV. Why not here?
It should. This is
okay.
like
And then
TV.
just hit investigate.
Yes. Because what's also cool is this, like, straight up, like, explains to us what you get for this. So you rolled an 8. This is a mild success. You basically get one clue. You have one clue that you can ask me for, but I can do a couple of things here in terms of the response, because this was not a strong success. So I think that, like, she's going to ask you a question back. So what did you say to her? You said, "Do you know what happened to us?"
Mm-hmm.
Right. What's the question? Is that the question that you're asking? You want an answer to?
Yes.
Okay. And so I think that she just, like, she glances past you as the rest of your associates are kind of making their way, like, out of the back of the building, and there's a little bit of distance between you and them at this point. And she turns and just, like, nods, and she's like, "I believe that I do. Have you found anyone else besides you?"
I was going to ask you the same question if we had time.
I think that's what they're looking for. Be careful, Nick.
I will. Thanks again. We really appreciate it. And he'll head out. Not going to pester her since everyone else is walking away.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Cool. And so Nick catches up to the lot of you as you guys are out there. Yeah. So the 5 of you kind of regroup out in this parking lot behind the library. What are you guys going to do? What do you want to do?
Could we just, like, walk away from the opposite direction of the front of the library?
Yeah, you absolutely could do that. That sounds super reasonable, yeah.
But
Well,
should we?
Yeah, behind. Yeah.
What?
Like, I need to, like, look around the corner to see if, like, they're in, like, the
Check
side
the
alleys.
situation before we just go strolling away in any old direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they're not flanking the place, then these are some real amateurs.
I know, right? So my question here then, Escher, are you, like, investigating? Is this like an investigate role? Is, like, while Nick's talking to Zelda, are you, like, scoping out what's going on to see if they're, like, back here at all?
Is it that, or is it sneak around?
So sneak around would definitely just be to, like, get you out, right? You're just
Okay,
trying
sure.
to, like, get away unseen. But if you want to know, like, where they are they watching us? Are they back here? That's more investigate, right?
Yeah, all right. Then I think let's investigate.
Okay, Escher, Maximor, I think that you're pretty decent at investigating.
Where did it go? Okay, we're going to add gut sense of danger.
Okay.
Yes.
I forgot I put this in here. Predict a foe's next move. Yeah? No?
I'll give you gut sense of danger, but you don't have a clear foe in front of you,
Yeah,
right?
fair.
Like if
That
you're
was
dealing
my-
with the person. Yep.
Okay. None of those. Let's see. Insatiable curiosity.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Sometimes I can't get the one card to go away so I can see the other one.
I know it's a little weird. You have to kind of wiggle your mouse around and they'll kind
Yeah.
of pop.
Okay,
If you
let's
click
see.
on the first one, it'll, like, put them all in perspective again.
What about persistent in the face of obstacles?
Yeah, for sure. This is an obstacle, right?
I would say so.
Yeah, you're trying to like get away unseen, and like there's people following you. What's this about? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Cool. I think those are the appropriate additions.
Okay, I'm like scoping out. Nope, that's not relevant. Nope. I'm not going to use that one. I don't think it's necessarily relevant here. So you have like 2 here, right? Using insatiable curiosity and a gut sense of danger, right? So go ahead and roll.
And persistent in the face of.
Oh, right. And
obstacles.
Persistent in the face of obstacles. Okay, so you're rolling with +3 power. Go for it. Roll investigate.
Let's go. Did I click it? Oh, maybe not.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
So clues 3. Basically, your power is like the number of modifiers you had, right? So you get a power
Clues
of 3. You get
equal
clues
power.
equal to power. You have 3 clues, right? That you can ask me like explicitly. So what does it look like as we see Escher like scoping the scene?
So I think they're like, they have no sense of pride about this, so they're willing to like get down into the bushes and like crawl like between the bushes and the wall, like along the ground.
Do you want me to hold your stuff for you, Escher?
No, I'm just gonna put it on the ground. Fine. Just don't let anybody take it, but you don't have to hold it. And like
He watches her stuff.
So like Escher has this like huge like shaggy mullet situation, so I'm sure their hair is like getting tangled in the bushes as they're like army crawling along the ground here, trying to see I think scoping out the front first to see how many guys we've got.
Is that one of the question? How many guys?
Yeah, I think how many people do we have out front?
So as you like, kind of like peer through the bushes, right, these branches like yanking at your magnificent hair, you see that there are 2 people up near the front. They're kind of like leaning up against the side of this blacked out Suburban, watching the front of the library. That's one question. You have 2 more.
Your hair is just like more magnificent and creepy now.
I just want even more volume.
I know.
I think we want to know. I don't know how to ask this. Like, okay, so I know what it looks like out the front. Do we see any similar cars or people in the back?
Yes. There is a person like walking around the other side of the building, kind of opposite from where you are right now. Like as you peer back around, right? I kind of imagine you at like the corner of the building, like looking down the one edge, right? And you see the car, the 2 people at the front. And as you look, your friends are behind you, but over around the backside, you see the silhouette of a figure. And I think that we just catch the glint of like the street light reflecting off these mirror shades.
It's like sunset, did you say?
Yeah, it's dark, like the sunset just before you guys all met here, so it's night.
Okay. They're wearing sunglasses in the dark. Of course they are.
I would sing right now, but I'm not as good as my boy P is.
So you can.
I don't know. What else? I'm trying to think about what else to.
This is an important note. You can always bank your clues. But the idea here is like the method and the situation by which you got them is you like scoping this situation out right now. So you could save this clue and ask me later, but it needs to be like threaded and relevant to like the way you got
related
the information.
To this action.
Yeah. Like you could ask me something specific about them or the cars or like something like that later if you wanted to.
Okay. I think I'll do that for now. Because we wanted to know where the people were and how many of them there were, and I think we have that information.
And you got that. So if you want, like, there's tracking cards just underneath your theme cards. You could just make a note there, the tag of like the library scope out, you know.
Cool.
And the idea is you have one clue right there to use later. Also, for Nick and for Lyra, I forgot to like tell you to do this, but when your weaknesses came into play, paranoia. And for Nick, what was it? Try hard. Tries a little too hard. You guys can mark attention on those themes, right? There's the spots for like 3 little attention. It says up at the top. There's 3 little pips you can fill in.
Yeah.
So you each get like 1 attention marked there. The idea is whenever your weaknesses come into play, by addressing your weaknesses, by calling on them and making them like relevant to what's happening, that's kind of how you get better. That's advancement in this game, right? It's designed to like want you to dig into your weaknesses, right? And so my response here, as this was a mild hit, is your investigation exposes you to danger. As Escher has like crawled into the bushes and is scoping these like agents in the front of the place, and this third mirror-shaded figure kind of rolls up around the back of the building. The other 4 of you are standing there, and you see them like stop, illuminated under this like perfect kind of cone of the white street light dropping down on them, you know, and they turn like looking up at you, the like mirror shades just reflecting the light, and I think they call out like, "You there, hang on a second," and they start like walking directly towards your group.
Nick immediately puts his hands up.
Oh no!
Run!
Oh no!
Wait, do they see everybody? Do they see me? Do they see everybody
see the group.
but me?
They see the group, and so I guess the question is, like in this beat, are you going to try to hide?
I think right now I'm gonna stay in those bushes.
Okay, this is a sneak around roll. I think like you are in a situation where like they might not notice you, whereas the rest of your friends like are busted, right? Like the other 4 are like spot on. So if you want to try to like stay in the bushes unseen, I'm gonna have you make a sneak around roll. So same deal. We're gonna like scope your power tags, like what's relevant here, what makes Escher good at hiding.
Love this.
Man.
Persisted in the face of obstacles.
I'll give you that one. Sure, this is like an obstacle that has now become more significant, and you are persistent.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, I'm not getting out of this place. Yeah.
No.
Is there any way I can help them?
Yes. Before we began playing, you all went through a series of questions, and you basically, we asked each other a bunch of questions about things that happened to you. So you each have help and hurt points with one another. And if you would like to help, if Lyra would like to help Escher remain hidden, if you have a help point, you could burn it to do that.
Interesting.
I don't have a help point. Sure.
You want to hurt Escher? You want to make sure Escher gets busted
do.
with you? Anybody could. Great point. So, Nick, you have one? You want to try to help?
Yeah. Yes. And I think the easiest way for something of how that would be, which I don't know. Now I'm also leaning into D&D. I don't know
No,
how
that's
this works,
totally
but
cool.
I was gonna say like.
Oh, no, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say like me putting my hands up immediately is kind of like drawing attention to myself, because I'm just like, oh, you know, hey. So I feel like that would move focus from the bushes towards
So
myself.
check it out. This is how this works. The help and the hurt points, they work as juice. There are certain moves you make in the game that earn you juice, and that's going to be fun to say over and over and over again. So
Juice.
you get to spend your juice to create what are called story tags, right? Or like statuses. You can apply a status to somebody or create a story tag. So I think that like just to like help you along here, you're going to burn your help point with Escher. It will be gone now, right? It's like you spend it and it goes. You can get more back when we geek out at the credits at the end of this. But like in other words, I think you're giving this agent like the status of like distracted one. They're going to be like that much less likely to notice the mullet hiding in the bushes. Yes. And so, okay, cool. So if you want to burn your help, you can do that.
Yeah, sure. And so that'll drop that down. And then do I add a story tag or no?
No,
That's to
I've
you.
got it. Yeah. Like, in other words, we have
Got
a
it.
status now applied to this agent of distracted one. And with that, Escher, what are you trying to do to try to hide, to sneak around?
I mean, ideally, just like I wear all
Yes.
black, so I'm hoping that if I'm just like staying like on the ground, not
Yes.
moving, that ideally I just won't. It's dark.
Yes.
let me remind you, it is nighttime and they are wearing sunglasses and I am wearing all black, covered by bushes.
Yes, you just have to hide the chrome on your many belts.
I just have to stay right. Hope that nothing catches the glint of my many belts.
I love it.
So many belts.
Which tags are you pulling on?
So I added predict a foe's next move because I think now we clearly have the foe and they are advancing. Yes. Can I keep gut sense of danger?
Yes.
I mean, the danger is obvious, but I think I sense it
you'll
also.
know like the escalation, right? Like it's not like clearly violent yet. There's people in the front, so yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So I think then it's those three. Predict a foe's next move, gut sense of danger, and persistent in the face of obstacles.
And now in this circumstance, like the distracted adds, that's going to give you another point on your power. So just manually bump it up to 4 if you can. But I think actually on this one, I'm going to call on your weakness, which will be authority figures get in the way.
They sure do.
One of Escher's weaknesses is authority figures get in the way. And I think that this certainly represents an authority figure. And it seems like they're very much in the way, right? So you're basically rolling with the total power of 4 or of 3, right? Because you're getting like +1 and
and I can just change that in this box
I think
at the
so,
top
can you?
To add the help point. Let's see. Can I? I'm not sure that I can.
Okay, so let's just like artificially click one of your other, we're learning the character sheets too. Just click one of your other like power tags and that's fine. That'll count.
Okay. Just to change the numbers.
So you're rolling with +3 for a sneak around. Go for it. Sneak around.
Very sneaky.
Nice.
Oh, so sneaky.
Dynamite.
Huge success. Huge success.
Wow.
So you can mark attention on that tag for authority figures get in the way.
Amazing.
But your target is entirely fooled by your subterfuge such that you can continue to move and or act completely undetected by the target for the rest of the scene. You are in good shape.
My subterfuge of wearing black in the darkness.
It's working. So Escher like tucks a little further into the darkness of the bush while this agent comes walking up to the 4 of you. And they're just like, they just like come walking up. They're looking at Nick with their hands in the air and they're like, you just came out of the library, didn't you?
We didn't not come out of the library.
Do you need something?
I do, young lady, as a matter of point. I need answers.
Can I see a badge, sir?
Yeah, this is a little creepy.
What do you need to see a badge for? I didn't say you're under arrest. Do we have a problem here?
We're behind a library and you just approached us. Like, it's kind of weird.
That's a pretty...
You're acting as if you have some authority. I just would love to see some identification that corroborates that authority.
Are you looking for a book recommendation?
Lyra laughs. She does laugh.
The stoic facade of Lyra broken by Jonathan's humor. And I think that I think he turns and looks at Jonathan like, I'm not looking for a book recommendation, no. You all...
well, there's a lady in there named after a book or a video game.
Video game.
The librarian, yes, she was not very helpful for us.
Yeah, she said you kind of like were a little rude, so...
She's a nice lady, so like chill it on that.
Yeah.
Iggy starts... He can't let that stuff just stay in there. Iggy starts putting Escher's stuff in his backpack. He's going to feel really bad if something happens and they have to get out of there quickly and that stuff is still there. So he starts just kind of just bends down and starts loading into his backpack.
As Iggy starts loading the stuff up. Yeah, Nick?
If you're not a cop, can I put my hands down, please?
Yes.
Nick, just put your hands up. Just you don't need to. Just do it. Yeah.
I'm looking for some answers. I heard that there were a group of you here last month. Something unusual transpired. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Unusual? Did somebody spill something?
No. Something bigger than that.
Nope, can't say we have. just came in, just usual library visit. Just
No, it's
checked out some
public.
books.
Yeah, it's a public library. There are probably lots of groups.
What are you, a book club or something?
That's
Yeah,
exactly
actually.
what we are.
Checks out. It's good. You don't want to lie to me. I know more than you think I do.
Jeez, dude. Come on. What is this?
It's a conversation, young lady.
Yeah, behind a library.
That's right. Is this something on tour? I mean, we're just standing behind a library. I don't understand why you're
Because
so
you're creeping
fixated
us
about
out
that.
standing in front of the library in the middle of the night.
Iggy stands up, turns around, and says, "Sir, help me help you."
So helpful, Iggy.
What do you need?
Come sit on my lap. Give me a hug.
A lot of you have heard about these killings that are going on the last few weeks.
Not in the library.
All of the people who were killed were here that day.
Oh shit! Really? I think he takes out a notepad and starts writing. I did not know that.
That definitely feels like relevant information, Jonathan. It feels like you should have known that. Aren't you a reporter?
Definitely should have known that. That got right by me.
That sounds like the sort of information the police would love to know.
Yeah.
In addition to anybody who happened to be in the library at that time, other than the dead people.
It only took 4 of them for the police to actually figure it out.
Oh, so the police do know this. And Iggy looks at Jonathan.
He says they only just got to it tonight. They're not dealing with the problem anymore anyway.
Wait, so if you're not police, how do you know about all this?
Yeah.
Did I say I wasn't police?
You said the police?
Not like us.
I guess
Yeah.
there is a bit of an
So
implication
gave that away
there.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
Shit.
Yeah.
He's-
Good job.
I think there are a
Well,
couple
if
of
it down
days.
now, that would probably do it.
There are a couple of days.
Yeah,
coming
definitely.
when you were referring to the police.
Well, regardless, I'm sure you can understand that we just want to have a little bit of a conversation about your comings and goings, what you all have been up to, like maybe earlier tonight.
Who's we? Like, what organization do you represent, if not the
That's
police?
not important, young
Please don't
man.
say the Men in Black.
He says,
He said,
he just says to you, that's not important, young man. That's neither here nor there.
It's very much here. It's very much now.
A little bit. Yeah.
He's like, I represent a group of individuals looking to get to the bottom of what's going on.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah.
do the 4 of us.
yeah.
Is that so? There's another one of
Asher
you,
is
isn't
like
there?
quietly surprised from
With the camera like cuts, we see Asher like, oh shit. I think that he's like, there's another one of you, isn't there? Your friend. Where are they?
Asher is less pleased from the bushes.
Have you seen them
They
today?
didn't show up today.
Interesting. And I think that he like takes out a pad and like makes a note of something like,
You following us? Like, dude, like...
no, we just were
make
here at the
note.
library and I saw you come out of the back door.
So you confront us in the back of
Yes,
an
you
alley.
seem really fixated on this idea that we're behind the library. Would you prefer to go back inside? Maybe we could stand out front with my
Yes!
friends.
Yeah, maybe you, instead of standing outside the library when you saw that we were gathering, you could have come said hi. Or something. This is weird. This is not, like, conducive to having a conversation.
You're right. Maybe we should take a
Thank
ride
you for
downtown.
connecting the dots for us. We'll be more than happy to give a statement at the local precinct.
All right, let's head around to the front then, and we'll take a ride.
Nah,
that's,
no.
that's look.
Yeah, I actually don't think I'd be comfortable with going to the precinct to giving any sort of statement. I'd probably prefer not to do that, actually. I'm
Sorry,
more
I was speaking
concerned
to
about the
Royal We.
idea that there are people or someone seems to be serial murdering people who were in this library about a month ago. That does not seem to bode well for the four
That's
of
all
us.
the more reason
Yeah,
you should just
why-
take a ride with us, Nick, and we can have a conversation and make sure that there's eyes on you to keep you.
Stop it. Stop
Yeah,
it.
see that I don't like. I don't like you knowing my name when I never gave it.
Oh shit, he says again, like.
You want to talk? We're here at the library.
Um,
And so I think he's like, and he like reaches up and touches his ear, like, yeah, I've got 4 of them back here. You guys want to pull around into the parking lot?
What the fuck?
Well, that's probably a good cue for usually when someone says, "Let's get the f out of here." If anybody wants to be saying
I
that.
thought we were having a conversation. I'm just calling my friends. There's no need for you all to leave. We can talk here if you're nervous.
I mean, I like you. I don't know if I like your friends.
What's your name? You know all of our names.
My
Who are
name
you?
doesn't matter, miss. You can call me.
All right, I hate that. You want to have a conversation with me? You want to have a conversation with me and my friends? I need
You can
something.
call me. You can call
Bob.
me Agent Anderson.
My God.
Worse than the Men in Black.
All right, AA. Let's go inside.
Oh, we're going back inside.
have I finished picking up
Yeah,
Escher's
you've got
stuff?
all Escher's stuff. Yeah. So you're saying go back inside, Lyra, and he looks at the door like, well, you just left, didn't you? You want to go back in? All right, let's go have a seat.
Well, we didn't. I don't want to stand out in the middle of an alleyway. We tried to leave because you're creeping us out, and now you've confronted us
so
in the
you
alleyway.
tried to
and you want to
leave
have a
because we were
conversation.
here?
We're not taking a ride with you.
You tried to leave
Well, let's
because
go
we
get
were here, though.
comfortable. You're creepy, dude.
I get
Creepy.
that a lot. It's job hazard. It's part of the occupation. It's a little bit difficult.
So
Yeah.
what group do you and your friends represent, if not the police? If you want answers, you're going to have to give us some answers first.
We're part of a special.
Right, conversations work both ways. That's a good point,
We're
Iggy.
part of a special task force.
So
It's
am
been
I.
appointed
Okay.
directly by the mayor. He says.
Agent Anderson, who works for a special task
That's right.
force.
It's a special task force. I was very proud to receive that appointment, young lady. I'll just have you know, we're operating directly under the purview of the mayor to get to the bottom of what's been going on here.
You are killing me, dude.
No,
All right, look,
But-
look, man, we appreciate what you're trying to do. Like, we don't want people to die, obviously, too. And if hypothetically we were, people who may or may not have been around a month ago when an event happened, we also would like to not die from a hypothetical serial killer.
Yeah.
But how do we trust you? We
Yeah,
got
how do we
nothing.
know it's not you and your
well,
people?
the simple fact of the matter is, how do I know that one of you isn't the killer? And I think that his eyes, like, turn towards freaking Nick, right? And he, like, stares at you for a second, and then, like, he, like, looks, like, over to Iggy and frowns a little bit. He's like, trust is a two-way street. Now, I know a little bit about the 4 of you and your friend, who's not here. And he, like, turns, looking his head, but I can't be sure that none of you have been involved with this in a more meaningful way.
So where do we go from here then?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like
Not to
she
your
wants
car.
us to go back into the library. At this point, like, I think we
Okay,
see
come.
Escher, you like see the 2 folks in the front like get back into the vehicle, and the car kind of pulls out into the street and makes like a U-turn. And I think like we see like another car like stopping and honking. There's like a total disregard for like traffic laws or whatever, and they like pull back around the alley. And now as the 4 of you are back there, we see like the second Escalade with the lights like pulling into the parking lot in the back. And the passenger, it like stops. The headlights now like pointed directly at you, very sort of like ominously. It's like stopped in like kind of the exit entrance out onto the street of the parking lot itself. Headlights at you. It's one of these like you turn and look towards it, and like you're blinking. The glare, it's kind of blinding at you. And the passenger side door opens, and this other figure gets out, and Agent Anderson is like, This is my associate, Special Agent Anderson. No relation.
No, can you be creative? God, you guys suck.
That one hurt me, Taylor.
Are you new? Are you new, Agent Anderson?
Actually, I am. I'm pretty new. I mean, the task force wasn't that old to begin with, but please, I just want to talk.
Not that old.
Well, I mean, the murders only started a couple of weeks ago, and I think at this point,
So this task. No, go
at this
ahead.
point, Special Agent Anderson comes like stalking up, and Special Agent Anderson is bigger than Agent Anderson. You know, like broad shoulders, like chest puffed up. I think that it's like the military kind of like buzz cut flat top, right? Like the Captain America jawline, you know. And they like the like sunglasses come off. Like, what the hell is going on out here, Anderson? What's with this lot? Are you going to take a ride then? We have some questions for the four
AAA?
of you.
AAA,
Tripoli?
specially AAA. You're AAA. This is AA.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Wait, what do you want? Come
We
on.
want to know what you know about the people who were here last month, what you know about the murders that happened, what you know about everything that's been going on over the last couple of weeks.
Gosh, I like this guy. Straightforward.
Yeah.
I think
We can easily
I think
answer
Agent
that.
Anderson, like-
Nothing. We literally found out about the murders being connected to this 2 minutes ago.
And I think
Yeah.
like Agent Anderson at this point deflates a little bit, like, you know, and Special Agent Anderson like scowls at him like, God damn it. Why didn't you just get back in the car? I told them we only needed 2 of us down here, but no, they said no. Bring Agent
Oh man, now I
Anderson.
feel kind of bad.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
don't
no.
feel bad.
Leave him. He needs the experience. You can
As
say.
this is all happening, is there anything going on with Asher, like hidden around the corner? Is there anything we should know? You're just hidden, watching what's going on.
I am just hanging out and listening and hoping for the best right now. Ready to run, but desperately hoping that the situation is going to somehow de-escalate before they have to get out of the
Okay.
bushes.
Okay. And so I think that like Special Agent Anderson now is just like, so what do you say? Are you all willing to come take a ride?
No.
No,
No.
Yeah, why do we gotta go somewhere?
No.
Yeah.
you're talking to 4 people who are potential victims. For all we know, it's you and your group who are the
That's
killers.
completely ridiculous. I don't know who the hell you're supposed to be. Emily Rogers, does that name mean anything to you?
No.
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 How about Lucius Danthorpe?
Not another Danthorpe.
Wait. Lucius Danthorpe. No.
No. that-
What about Archibald Erastus? Have you ever
No.
heard that name? Lyndon Cormack?
Whoa. Yikes, dude.
Are these the names of the dead people?
Oh.
He's like eyeing you at this point, Sheldon. I don't know. Are they?
I have secrets too.
I think that like Agent Anderson is
See-
like, you shouldn't have said that. That's
Sir, if you started the conversation with, you might be in danger, you 4 people here, then that might have gotten you somewhere. But you came at us with suspicion instead of care.
It's my job to be
Yeah.
suspicious, sir, and you might be in danger, but you also might be very dangerous, and I can't be sure which is which, so I mean to get to the bottom of it. Now, are we going to talk turkey? Or is this going to have to get serious?
I feel like it's pretty serious already. We're talking about 4 dead people. But you know, we've answered. We told you we don't know any of this stuff. We don't know what's going on. My parents were expecting me for dinner. I told them I was coming to the library. I should probably get back. If I don't show up for dinner, they're probably going to know something's going on. So it's, we don't know anything else. I'd really like to go home now.
Us riding with you isn't going to change our memory.
Yeah, where would you take us
To
exactly?
headquarters.
Oh,
Oh,
my.
okay.
Ooh, I kind of want
Wow.
to see that, guys. I kind of want
Wow.
to see.
Special Agent Anderson and Agent Anderson that work for the Special Task Force taking us back to their headquarters.
That's right. We've been commissioned by the
Hanging
mayor.
outside the library. You guys sound like murderers.
This is
Tell us more about this headquarters. It
You're a
sounds nice.
problematic young
This
woman,
does
aren't
not
you?
sound nice.
I think that like Special Agent Anderson says, and he's like, "Are you getting lippy with me?" And at this point, like, he's like, "I'm really getting tired of this shit. We don't get paid enough. Listen,
Well, at least you guys get paid.
I understand.
Jeez.
He's a bit of a rookie. Maybe he didn't handle this right."
You're all rookies. This job is 3 weeks new for all of you.
Yeah. At least he's nice.
I think that he just like shakes his head like, "We'll be keeping an eye on you. Is there anything that you can tell us? Is there anything that you want to tell us before we find out ourselves?"
We don't know anything about these murders, and now we're scared.
You should be.
That's what we know. Thanks.
Do you have like a card or contact information that we could like
Yeah.
get?
And I think
touch?
that Special Agent Anderson like reaches into like his breast pocket, right? He like pulls out from like the inside of his coat a card that he hands to you, and then he hands one to each of you other three. And it's quite simply like an address on a really like nice piece of like cardstock. It's kind of like embossed in like gold. And like it's clear to you immediately, Sheldon, like, yeah, this is not like the kind of thing a detective has or something like that, or like whatever, you know. And it's basically like an address downtown, right? It's like a skyrise apartment building, and it gives you like a floor and a room number.
Fancy, mysterious. I dig it.
I understand that my colleague here seems to have bungled the initial introductions. You should be scared, miss. He says there's dangerous things out there.
My name is Lyra. Can you stop with this
I know
young
what your
lady?
name is. I just was trying to
All right,
make
then
you a little
say
bit
it.
more comfortable by being appropriate. And,
What?
We thank you for letting us know to be more vigilant. We will do so, and if anything comes to mind, we know how to contact you. So thank you, sir.
Get in the car. And Agent Anderson's like, mm-hmm. And like, and with that, he kind of like turns, walking back to the car. Special Agent Anderson stands there for a minute, like takes the sunglasses out, opens them like very slowly, like slips them back on.
I want you to know something, Special Agent Anderson. I don't get like this very often. You did this. Congratulations.
Incredible. I think he's just like, I'm not entirely sure I believe that, Lara. But fair enough. You all be safe. Keep yourselves out of trouble. If there's anything that you think of that might be important or help us get to the bottom of what's going on, please come by the headquarters.
Yeah. And if I see you on a street corner, I'll be sure to wave.
I understand sarcasm. You know that, right?
It's not sarcasm. I'm being serious.
Goodbye, then. With that, he like turns and like stalks back over to the car, and I think you hear him like muttering to Agent Anderson, like, "You stupid son of a... I told you, you were supposed to call..." And I think you hear Agent Anderson like, I don't know, I thought I didn't think that they would get that defensive. I thought they would take the right. Like with that, they kind of like file back into the car and like the tires like screech as it like pulls this sort of U-turn and like wheels out of the back parking lot under the street lamps, kind of just like merging into the line of headlights and brake lights in the streets beyond.
Well, that was officially terrible. Asher, how you doing?
Like out the window.
It's rather cold down here on the ground. But glad I didn't have to try to explain gender to that jackass.
Oh my god.
Well, anybody else feel like a drink? I could probably use a drink. A drink seems like a
Several.
good idea.
I got some more of these
No.
Korean beverages.
Thanks.
Is there an alcohol content on that can?
You guys need some alcohol?
Yes, Iggy.
That would be what we
Yes.
were
After that.
discussing.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich, is there any alcohol nearby?
There's not, but there could be. I feel like. Is this a move, Iggy? Are you about to change the game? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Change
I
the
am.
game to acquire alcohol is very funny.
Here's the question: like, do you even need to roll, or is there just alcohol here now, Iggy? I guess that's the question. Like, there's no necessarily duress. All right, yeah, let's have you roll. Let's change the game.
Okay. I've got a few things here that'll help. Da, 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 da. So the request from another only gets activated if it wasn't done for me, right?
Yeah, your request from another is a weakness
weakness.
tag. Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
So you've got a
That-
request
Because that took place, it doesn't come into play. Okay. I am activating spooky environments because it's dark in a back alley
Yeah,
parking
it's kind of
lot.
spooky. Okay.
The sight of a recent interrogation feels pretty spooky to me.
Physical objects.
Yep, alcohol is a physical object. Yep.
There is. And clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance, relevant. Okay. What about? I guess not. Those aren't super relevant. Weakness tags. Any weakness tags? Probably not.
No.
I don't think any of these apply.
No.
Okay.
So does this change the game?
Yeah. So you're gonna make a change the game move. So what do you have here? 3 power tags, right? Change the game. Oh, great success. So you rolled with 3 power.
Oh, boy.
Basically, you have 3 juice. You can create a story tag, which sounds like it's alcohol.
Yes. It's going to be it's going to be a 6-pack of beer.
Well, so because you have 3 power, like the story tag of like alcohol 1, you've created it with 1 juice. You have these 2 juice left where you could scale up the effect, which would be like more than a 6-pack. And you could even like
Dream big, Iggy.
it's true. You could create like a whole bunch of alcohol, like a great volume of it for everybody. And then theoretically, you could like create a status tag for everybody of like buzzed. Are you gonna like get everybody alcohol and like
Love
really
it.
get them lubricated?
No, I'm just going to create I find like a pallet of beer bottles that a local moving truck forgot, like the not a moving truck, but
Delivery truck.
thank you, delivery truck forgot to bring into a bar and was kind of sitting out back behind a bar, just like 2 buildings down from the library.
Okay, so like you guys like start walking out of the library and Iggy suddenly just kind of like slips into like an alley and comes back out with like what, just a couple of 6-packs or just one? What do you
Couple 6-packs.
There you go.
High quality.
High-end stuff. He's got attention to detail. He's a bit of a perfectionist. And so you just start like passing out like drinks to everybody. Iggy suddenly like slips into the alley, comes back out, and he's like just carrying this stuff. Like,
What?
All
Where
right.
did you? What? How did? What?
Don't ask those questions.
My goodness.
Before Escher takes one, they ask for their stuff back.
Oh, I've got it. We're good.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I mean, fine. Like I can carry it to wherever you're going.
I'll carry it.
Okay. He starts to like take it out of his backpack in like a nice organized pile that's convenient to pick up and easy to carry.
Yeah, it's not gonna last.
He tries to make use of like the 6-pack containers to hold some of the smaller items.
so we see him like trying to put the
Just
thing.
stop trying to organize my things. Stop touching it. They're just like shoving stuff back into their bag.
Come on, Asher. He's just trying to be helpful as I twist off the beer and just like do the whole thing, right? Just drink the entire thing in one gulp.
As you're doing it, like Lyra, like as it's tilted up, just kind of like tinks it and like does the thing.
I wonder if Zelda has a list of like anybody who checked out books that night.
Maybe she might keep a record of people that like have like groups too, like ours, and what nights they come in.
Yeah, see if those 4 names were on there.
You're proposing that we figure out if those people are in fact came here, and if there's others, find them and warn them?
Probably, right?
I mean, it would be the right thing to do, I guess.
I mean,
yeah, come on, Doc. It's the right thing to
aren't
do.
You, Mr. Moral with your doctor studies.
I mean, yeah, there's helping people in need, but there's also, I mean, geez.
Who's more in need than potential murder victims?
I mean, step 1 is just seeing if there's a list. We can figure out what to do with it later.
Also,
getting a list isn't committing to taking action.
Yeah, true. I am sorry for getting so uppity with those guys. I was so pissed.
No, I loved it.
Oh my gosh. They just like, the one guy, I almost feel a little bit bad because he like obviously is a little bit of a rookie. He was kind of innocent, you know. Those guys.
No, you were absolutely right to talk to them the way you did.
Just can't, man.
Like, interesting card, right? Like, not law enforcement.
What is this? Like, just like a
cricket project.
Is it like
yeah.
like a Blockbuster video card that you scratched on the back of or something?
No, it's really nice, but it's just the location.
Yeah. This feels like villain to me.
Yeah, nothing sketchy about that at all.
Right. This is the kind
not a cell phone number.
Like rich person who like has too much interest in the situation for some reason. These guys and they just this special task force just specifically for this situation?
Yeah, like who's funding them? This goes all the way. You guys not excited about this. This is like
it's crazy.
That was almost too good cop, bad cop for my taste.
All cops are bad cops.
Yes, yeah, sure. It's a big energy.
So, man, what do you guys want to do? I kind of like. I want to like. We should stake out this building.
I definitely want to stake out the building.
Yeah.
Well, is the address on an upper floor? Because I guess we may know someone who could get there. As I stare at Jonathan.
Come on, guys! Like I don't like doing it.
I thought you wanted to stake out the building, Jonathan.
I'll climb with you, Jono. Come on.
All right. Yeah, I'm not going alone. Not going alone.
I'll come with you.
Well, once you get there, I can join you.
All right.
So weird.
I love it.
So, what a direction we're about to head in.
We are
too good, and that leaves Escher and Nick to hang out on the ground.
Take the elevator.
Be a
elevator.
Power couple.
Oh, that's right. I should hang with Escher.
You're more than welcome to go with Jonathan and Lyra, please.
So
do we want to like just see if we can get the list before we go, just so we have it?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we can't hurt.
No, why
Yeah.
not?
Let's talk to Zelda, try and get a list going, and then don't take the list with us. That's probably would be a bad idea. And then go to the headquarters and see what we can find.
You have a list of the victims.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not how it works.
I do have a laptop on me. We could write it down in the computer. It's password protected.
Yeah.
On an encrypted.
These guys don't know what they're doing. I think that they're a password will stop them.
I take good care of my stuff. That's why I don't like people touching it.
I think she's talking to you.
They're talking to you.
Okay, so what's the plan? You five are gonna go back to the library. You want to talk to Zelda?
Circle back.
Help
circle
us, Game
back.
Master. Get us back on track.
No, it's fine. So
Yes, please, Master
So
Ceremony.
as you all sip on your beverages, you finish up these couple of beers they have. Iggy, you're able to like pack the rest away in your bag. You still have a story tag that you can mark on the bottom of your sheet, Iggy, of like bruise, I guess. Bruise 1. You guys head back and you head back into the library. It's now like a bit later in the evening. Zelda's like at the front desk as you come in and she's like, "Oh, hello. I didn't expect to see you all again tonight. Are you all right?"
Those guys ambushed us outside.
Ambushed you? Are you all right? Did they try to take you or hurt you?
No, it's more like a
Cornered.
like a talkative ambush, like a not physical, just
We were ambushed. Are you
More
okay?
like a
What was
talkative
it?
ambush.
Well, they ambushed us with conversation.
Hate a conversational ambush.
Got it.
Yeah, man, it's terrible. It's the worst.
And so I think that she's like looking over at a lot of you, like, well, are they still here? Did they leave or?
Dude, do you have like do you know the people that were here the night that we were?
Not all of them. I mean, you all know it's not as though we have sign-up sheets to come into the building. It's a public library. Anybody's allowed in. I mean, I have.
Yeah, but you have library cards, right? Do you have a history of people taking
I have
out
a
books that
record
day?
of the people who took books out that day, of course. Yes.
And
That
were there any
helps.
other groups that met that day other than
We were
us?
the only official group meeting that day. There was a field trip earlier in the day, some elementary school children, but
Come on.
Oh,
she's like, that was before. I mean, I can go back through the records and see, but I'm not sure I should give that information out. I mean, we're not.
did you give it to those guys?
No.
Good call.
Yeah. You know us.
You're right.
Would you be willing to part with the information about who checked books out?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I can do that. I think that.
That at least tells. Are there times associated with those checkouts?
Yes, of course.
Isn't that how every library works?
Yes. Yes.
Look at those NCIs.
What's funny, Rich, is that we have a friend who can answer all of
I
these
know.
questions.
We have
Yeah,
two friends.
we
We need to ask the
Yeah, true.
Todd the librarian. Sure, there's
Yeah.
timestamps on the books, right, Todd?
Todd just said that that would be
I
against the
know,
librarians.
I know.
Listen, we don't need a fact checker in the chat.
Yeah.
Don't fact check me too hard. I'm learning about both City of Mist and libraries on the fly here as we go. Library
This is a
administration.
2080 library. It's fine.
So I think that Zelda is just like, we can go back through the records. Yes, you all. Well, I know that you spend a lot of time here, and I want this to be.
And none of us have overdue books.
No, you don't, which matters a great deal to me as a matter of point. I want you all to know that I think well of you, and I know you had nothing to do with any of these attacks, so let's see.
Tell that to those guys if they come back.
Yeah, please.
I can try, but they were very vague and evasive. They did not seem to have any straight answers. They didn't even have very clear questions, to be honest with you. It was a disconcerting conversation.
Yeah, right. They're not trustworthy.
kidding.
They wanted to like.
That tracks.
I can't.
She got heated.
Okay, and so I think we see Zelda like these like very like long thin fingers like clack, she's like typing up like a few things, like the screen's kind of like shifting in front of her, right? And then we hear that like as like some paper starts like printing out of this sort of antiquated printer from behind, and she like walks over to it like rips the paper off and like walks back, folding it in half once and like sliding it across the desk towards the five of you. Like, do you think that I have to be worried? Do you know anything else about what's happening?
Is the same thing that happened to us happened to you? And how many names are on this list, by the way?
There's probably like 25 or 30 at least.
Oh boy.
And all of these people?
Well, they weren't. I don't know. I don't know what to think, to be honest with you. I mean,
It was that night.
it was, and
Although now that I'm thinking about it, like, people probably check the books out as they're leaving the library. So if they left before the incident, they may be safe.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing if something happened to them that affected them during the incident, they probably didn't stop and check out any books. So I don't know actually if this is useful. But we'll check the list for the names that were said to us.
I mean, I don't know how it worked for all of you, but I didn't exactly know what was going on the moment it happened. I thought everything was sort of okay, if strange, about what happened.
I don't remember much about that night.
It wasn't good. It wasn't fun.
Jesus, I don't exactly either. That's what's so disturbing. I have a very good memory, but it's like a big blank spot, like a fog. I don't know.
So then something happened to you.
I'm not sure.
You
I'm not sure.
changed.
And she like looks down kind of at the desk.
You are sure. Zelda.
How hard are you guys pushing here? Is this like a move? Is she's
I nudge Igor to hand her a beer.
In the library?
Yeah, it's nighttime.
needs it.
Library's closing soon. It's
Nighttime.
fine. We know Zelda. Zelda's a friend.
I think
don't know
she's too much of a stickler for rules to.
I also feel like
Hell,
if
I
she doesn't
am.
want to talk about it, maybe we should enforce her. I know I wouldn't want to talk about it if someone was like coming with me with this.
Yeah.
Well, things have changed. Like now,
Are we any
Maybe
better
we
than
should-
Agent
maybe-
Anderson to push her?
Maybe we should go scope out the building and find out some more information. And maybe if we have some more information to give her, then she will be more willing to share with us.
I guess I just want to say, Zelda, I'm not trying to like. I know I don't come across as the most friendly person ever, but if something did happen to you, and you know that something happened to us, and the people that were there that night are getting murdered, you should be afraid.
Well, I don't think she knew that part, but she does now.
She just kind of like nods and she's like, I recognize that second boy from a few weeks ago, but the last one, I knew her. She came here regularly. She was taking out books for her nieces and nephews.
We're gonna figure this out, Zelda. All right, we're gonna catch these people.
I think we gotta try and stick together. You know, watch each other's backs here. And we're gonna try and do that.
as we head to split up and search the building.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so the lot of you, she's like very awkward through this whole conversation while you're like talking about her while she's just kind of standing there, you know, like she doesn't trust her.
That's the old
You know.
D&D.
And so I think that she's kind of like just watching a lot of you, and as you're about to leave, she's just like, here, wait. She sighs, and you hear like some like rattling like from behind the counter, and she steps forward, and she's holding like a key, and she just like offers it up to a lot of you.
Secret door.
Is this to the library?
If you're all in danger, if all of us are in danger, well, if you need someplace, this will get you in the back door. Just don't make me regret it.
Thanks, Zelda.
Try
Iggy will
not
take
to.
the key if no one's snagged
I was
it.
gonna say, let
Yeah.
Iggy hold it.
Yeah, let Iggy. Yeah,
You know
really.
he wants
Iggy
to.
loves to carry things. Iggy loves to carry things. Okay.
Such a funny character.
It's really funny. So the scene kind of like fades as we see the five of you like walking down these wide steps, right? The like library looming up over you, the stark lights of the street kind of like washing over you in this array of colors. The mist is like thickening as the night wears on. And so is there anything else that occurs, or are you all just kind of making a direct route to this building downtown?
About how far away is the building? Is this like walkable public transport?
I think that it's
What's
probably would be like maybe like a 45-minute walk. Like you're in the old quarter, and this building is downtown, kind of. And so it wouldn't be like a quick walk. You know, do any of you have vehicles or cars? Is it the kind of thing where like, how would you get there? That's like
45-minute
I got
walk
something.
sounds lovely.
Yeah, let's take a walk. It's night. The lights are out. You know.
Doc, you don't have a car?
No, I cannot afford to purchase a car. I am a doctor in training, and I don't exactly come from a lot of money.
okay. And so we see like the five of you like kind of turn heading down the sidewalks, right? Like the group kind of moving through the intermittent washes of like shadows and like the stark light of everything around you. And so we fade out to black, coming back in, I think, to the five of you standing on this street corner now downtown. There are all kinds of like cabs and cars moving about. It's not quite as bustling and as busy as it is in the middle of the day, but this is a city that doesn't sleep, right? And there's these kind of massive buildings all around you. The like, you know, ridiculous like the Subways and the McDonald's and the Starbucks and the advertisement like hammering you from every direction, you know. There's like, you know, Captain Fantastic like flying and like the cape on like the huge like jumbotron screen kind of a few blocks over, illuminating everything, you know. Like Captain Fantastic 6 coming up June 12th at a theater near you, right? Yeah, like the honking of horns, right? Somebody like, get out of my way, like pushing past a lot of you, and you like, we see the address on the card embossed in gold alone by itself on this white blank paper, and then the camera just like pans up from you, and we see the same address, the numbers gold mounted on like the marble facade of the building, the like kind of rotating door with a doorman standing in front of it, you know, wearing like the red and the velvet and the whole bit. His loafers like kind of like shining, his dress shoes, you know, he looks like a younger fellow, like in his 20s, you know, like darker complexion, short hair. So yeah, there's people everywhere. What do you guys want to do? How are you approaching this?
Do we see the car of the agents anywhere
There's
outside, or
cars
is this
kind
like
of
there's a parking lot
Yeah,
underneath?
there's
sort
cars kind of like
giant-
everywhere, and there is totally like a parking lot that drops down underneath. So you don't see any evident like conspicuously
Yeah.
inconspicuous SUVs parked out front.
They didn't strike me
I
as
think you
park on
do
the street
probably
sort
see
of guys.
like a limo, right? There's probably like a long stretch limo like parked in front of the place idling. the lights, like lights off, driver's lights on, you know.
Yeah, Lyra will kind of like, walking, like kind of say to everybody, so yeah, you guys want like a couple of us go scope it out, a couple of you guys watch the front entrance, see if anybody exits.
What
Is-
floor did the card say?
Yeah.
It's on the 12th floor. It's not like a 100-story
boy.
building or anything, but it's definitely like, 30, and so it's about halfway up.
So right in
Yeah.
the middle.
Is there like a name for this building?
Yeah, the name on the front of it, bear with me 1 second here. Yeah, the name on the front of the building, there's like a marquee, and it's definitely a name that I have right here. Let me find it. I'm so sorry.
Got any more of those beers, Iggy?
Yeah, really.
Here you go.
Cheers.
You're welcome.
I think that
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I think that the name on the building is Divinity Estates.
Divinity.
City Estates.
So they work at a retirement home?
What exactly is our plan here? Are you guys gonna just, let's say, go up the exterior to take a peek in?
Or
I
maybe,
don't think we should exactly stroll in through a front door.
well, what if we? I'm happy to stroll in the front door and check out the directory.
Yeah, honestly, I
Let's-
mean,
like let's get a feel for what kind of. They're just on the 12th floor. Maybe if we take a look at the directory, we'll get a feel for what else is on the 12th floor, as well as what other kinds of things are in this building.
I mean, I'm just saying that if they just talk to us and we walk in through the front door, they're gonna know we're here. There's certainly cameras set up, probably watching the entrance.
And that's probably just tied to local security for the building, not to their office particularly.
well,
I'm happy to go in. I think we're fine.
I think
Iggy's ready.
Lyra and I, who have rather more unique appearances, should stay off the cameras as much as possible.
Although they don't necessarily know what you look like, Escher.
I get the sense they probably do. They know I exist. You want to go? Go right ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to walk into the lobby and check out the directory and walk out. I wasn't going to engage with anybody. Wasn't going to ask if anybody needed anything.
I think we agree with you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'll actually leave the backpack with. He won't ask Escher to say it.
That's what I was waiting for. Could you hold
He'll
this?
put the backpack at Jonathan's feet.
Oh, whoa.
Not expecting you to carry it or anything, saying, probably best if I just don't walk in with this.
Okay.
yeah.
Because otherwise, like the jacket he has, he looks like he's maybe a caterer. So,
Okay.
Perfect.
So you go striding up to the door. I think.
well, sorry.
Easy with the strategy.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, let's just do it. I was gonna ask what. It's the middle of the night. This is not gonna look at all suspicious. But yeah. So let's. He'll just like stroll in and Alexa, stop.
Whoa. That was stern.
I have to be stern with that.
You have to be
That's
stern
one
with the
feisty AI you got over there in the
Only
corner.
way
Huh?
that it
Wow.
feels is if I yell at the robot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just go in, see if I can check out the directory.
Okay, as you come striding in, like doorman like nods like, "Evening, sir," and you like slide through like the doors next to him into the place, and so there's like a big like central kind of desk. There's like a security guy kind of sitting behind it. We hear, I think, the sound, like the low voice of like a newscast, like, a fourth victim discovered tonight down at the docks. Another grisly murder, it appears. Right? Like you hear that. The police have not been given a name yet. They have not released any relevant information. Right? Like as this is going on, and like the security guard we see like peer up over the desk at you. Right? And you walk over to the directory. The elevators are a little bit like down the hall off to your right. And what are we looking for here?
I'm two things. I'm looking to see what all is on the 12th floor, specifically.
I think
if we had a.
I'm going to stop you here and have
number.
you make an investigate roll. I think this is going to be an investigate roll before something happens.
I'm just looking for the number 12.
That's true. If you're just like looking at 12, if you're not trying to like take in anything else that's going on, you can look at 12.
I'm just looking for the list of
Just read it.
what is on the 12th floor. Especially if they gave us the suite number, I'm like looking specifically for like a name associated with like, office 1206 or whatever. And then, from a investigation standpoint, I'm not that good at. Yeah, well, okay, you know what? I've got like one tag that's useful potentially.
Come on, we've been rolling great. Just keep going.
Yeah, as you know,
Don't stop
if you
now.
don't start rolling great. You just
you
keep
don't
doing
have
so
to.
for the
What I'm
rest.
saying is like if you want to make an investigate roll here, you can, and you would be able to like potentially like glean more information off this board. If you're just
Right.
looking at
That's
that
what I'm saying.
suite, you can just look at it.
I want to see like the specifically non-investigative part. I want to see what's in the
Got
suite
it.
number as well as what else is
Got
on the
it.
12th
So
floor.
12 has
For an investigation perspective, I'm going to see if I can like get an idea of what kinds of businesses or offices are in the building as a
Got it.
whole. Like, can I extract a theme?
You got it. So as you look to the 12th floor, you see that it looks like there appear to be like 4 separate offices there, right? There is like 1201 through 1204. And 1204, it's like seems to have had like the lettering like pulled out. Like you can see that like there's like a there's like actually like a blank spot for that area where like there is nothing. It's just like blank. Where 1201 through 1203, there's like a few different companies named. One of them is like a real estate. It's like Good Morning Real Estate Company. One of them is definitely.
Advanced refrigeration.
Yeah, really. One of them, like it's like something importing, exporting, right? And like ridiculous. And then
Business at the business factory, the usual.
yeah, and then the third one looks like it's a toy company.
Oh, that's nice.
Fun.
It's like rubber ball toys or something like this, right? Rubber ball toys.
Rubber ball toys.
Sharing the floor with some sketchy murderous dudes. Totally cool.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, why not?
Special task force.
Just to keep things interesting, I'll make an investigate check trying to figure out, looking at the. You said, but there's kind of a name there, but like it's been scratched away
No,
or
it's
something?
like there's like the tiled lettering. You know what I mean? It's the slots of like the tiled lettering, and they've been removed. The tiles have been removed.
Oh. Okay. Just the other ones that were on that floor, I don't get the sense that there's a theme anyway, so I'm not going to make an investigate roll.
Okay.
I don't think the other businesses in this building are important. I'm just making that call, and I'll leave.
Okay. I think as you're like heading back for the door, you hear the like voice of the security guard, like, "Hey, can I help you?"
Can you help him, Iggy? Is that a thing that Iggy's gonna do?
Wait, you want to help me?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you're looking for something there.
I was just curious about some of the businesses in the building. That's all.
Curious.
I walk by this every day, and you're like, Divinity Estates. What a unique name. I wonder if this is a retirement home.
It ain't a retirement home, pal. We don't need no curious cats in here. If that's the only reason you're in, why don't you get your ass back outside?
Oh
Bum.
boy.
That's where I was
Well,
headed.
yeah, and then I asked you this question. He's-
Oh. Oh.
Can I get you anything while I'm out?
Oh man.
Fucking people. I hear him mutter from behind the
Oh, damn it! The beer is back out by
Indeed
Jonathan.
it is.
Never mind.
Indeed it is.
Yep.
So you
Okay.
come like rolling back. out the
I leave.
door, you know, the kids.
Oh, we've lost your audio,
Oh,
Rich.
now still.
Oh, now you're back.
That was terrifying for a moment. Yeah, so I think that like you head back out, and the doorman kind of like acknowledges to you, like, "Have a good night, sir."
Oh, the doorman. Okay, he's cool.
Security guard's like at the desk
Yeah,
inside,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
separate guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fancy place.
Mm.
The doorman I can probably vibe with. He probably like vibes
Yeah.
with the doorman a bit. And he'll be like, you too. And he'll just keep walking.
That was anticlimactic. So Iggy comes like rolling back out to the rest of you standing out here.
Yeah, Iggy.
It looks like there's 4 businesses on the 12th floor. Like a real estate company, an import-export company, and a toy company. Like it's probably just offices. But the 4th one, it's empty. Like there's no business listing on the directory. Like, there's a 1204, but there's no name for it.
Gosh, how mysterious. Headquarters. Kind of
gotta
lame,
be a way.
honestly.
We can peek in. I mean,
We
why
gotta
not
get
just
in.
try to go up to the upper floor from the outside and look?
I was gonna say we could
Classic
try from the
approach
top,
the
or
outside.
Yeah.
we could look from the outside. But I mean, you guys, we're in the middle of a city. Just
There's an alleyway. Is there an alleyway?
There's alleyways everywhere. There's alleyways all
Yeah.
over the place. Sure.
Here we go.
Yeah. Jonathan's like, all right, 12th floor. I'll go take a look.
I'm coming. I'll climb it.
You're gonna climb
Yeah.
Find
it?
a way.
Wow. Okay. So
I'll try and like go behind him.
what happens with the 5 of you?
Yeah,
Do you
building.
all like move together as a group somewhere, or like the 3 of you kind of hanging out near the front while these 2 slink off?
I mean, we should
I
keep
don't-
watch on the ground,
and
right?
I don't think
Front door.
Escher and Nick have any way to accomplish the feat of scaling a building.
Well, no.
Well,
I could
Any doctor
try,
training?
but
In your doctor training.
Escher has some other things. You guys have some interesting tricks, but okay. So I think that the 3 of you, Iggy, Escher, and Nick, you're like hanging out over near the front of the building, right? You're kind of standing over by the corner. You're not right in front of the door, all conspicuous, like, but you're standing over like near the corner, right at this like busy intersection. The advertisements like washing over the screen again and again and again. The lights like washing over you while Jonathan and Lyra, the pair of you, go like heading down the length of the building. You see the alleyway that like rolls around behind it, dumpsters down there, like distinctive like shadows that mark the alleys of this city. And so the pair of you like slide into the darkness back there, and then what happens?
I think then I start to change. Like I start to look different to Lyra. I start to grow like really taller and bigger and broader. And my arms start to get like a little spiky, and then 2 large wings come out of my back.
Amazing.
And it's
Lyra,
kind of a
like-
painful little like, ugh.
good.
Yeah, like it's just been jammed in there.
Yeah, gosh, I bet.
These
it can be
2 like
uncomfortable.
massive.
Well, hey,
wings.
if you need me, just yell, because I don't know. But yeah, good luck.
Right.
She like taps on the back, and she's gonna go farther into the back, like looking for like things to like climb on, pipes, emergency
Sure, of
like
course.
ladders
There's, like,
and stuff.
scaffolding
But
and stuff. Yeah.
she's gonna go invisible.
And Lyra, as she starts like walking away from Jonathan, just fades. We just like, we see this silhouette of her shimmer, and then it's gone. And I think we see that telltale like one like kind of splash in the puddle, right, as you step through it and slip around. So my questions here to you two are, what exactly are you trying to do? Like, you can do these things without any rolls. This doesn't take moves, right? Jonathan now has wings. Lyra is invisible. This is just a thing that you can do. So now what? Like, you want to climb, you want to fly, but what's the end goal here? Are you looking to, like, investigate? Are you both making separate investigate rolls? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I think 2 separate investigates makes sense. Us kind of like approaching it from different angles, seeing if we can see that hidden fourth office.
Okay, cool. So I guess let's have Jonathan go first. As Jonathan like peers up above him, and we see the wings like this kind of like almost like dust falling off of it. It's like there's this like low like thrumming sound, right? The puddles like vibrating underneath as Jonathan like rises up into the mist of the night sky above, right? And Lyra, we see like jump up, grabbing a hold of a bar and start like pulling herself, like climbing up this scaffolding, like swinging and like leaping in between, like climbing up to the heights. So yeah, Jonathan, investigate. What do we got here?
Okay. I think with some of my tags, I have snooping around.
Oh yeah, that's very perfect.
For one, which makes sense. And then, do I include my wings as well? Since
I think
that's
so.
One
Yeah,
of my
I think
tags?
in the context of this, your wings totally count. Yeah, giant wings, snooping around.
And then for a third power, I can see in complete darkness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I figured that'll help, like look into the dark office.
Absolutely, it will. So that's 3 power so far. Anything else that's like relevant here?
It seems those are the most that are relevant. Yeah.
I would even argue for you on the upside of like a crime scene photographer. Like, you're good at looking for what's important, right? You have an eye for detail. Is that you think that works, or no? Am I reaching too far?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because he is like, he's used to like crime scenes, seeing what looks out of the ordinary. Yep. If this is an office where they're hiding stuff, he could tell like what doesn't look normal.
Okay, cool. Very cool. And so that gives you 4, a power of +4, right?
Yeah. All right, and then investigate.
Yep, and you're going to make an investigate roll. I don't think there's any weaknesses. There's no 13. Like story tags that are really holding you back. 13, that's like a massive hit. Yes. So in other words, 4 clues. Let's just pause here and let's see what Lyra rolls, and then we'll circle back onto you. So Lyra, what are you doing to investigate?
Okay. All right. So I don't know. I feel like all of my, like, we've got invisibility, darkness, incorporeal.
Okay. Does incorporeal help you with like investigating though? Are you going to try to like go into the building?
I guess I'm thinking of like getting there and like getting, if I can get into that.
I'm going to say this, like, if you're using incorporeal, it like indicates to me, like, incorporeal helps you like climb and get up there, but it means like you're going into the building. You're actually going into the building. Okay. This is just an important fictional note. Okay.
Yes.
So that's 3.
Cool.
Heightened senses.
Okay.
Gosh, I don't know. Because I'm investigating. Yeah.
You sure are.
Sees that which is hidden.
Is totally true. This is massive. This is 5 power so far.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I have my like languages thing. I don't know if that would help anything.
What is it? No, it's not necessarily. Comprehend languages is not relevant to this right now.
Would I use like my acrobatics and stealth?
Stealth, for sure. The acrobatics is like getting you up there. I think take stealth.
Right. Okay.
You know what?
I feel like that's probably.
I guess acrobatics counts because his wings count. This is part of like your investigate. So mark acrobatics. How much power is that? That's 7. But I'm going to hit you with sensory overload as you're like enhancing your heightened senses.
And I was gonna say overconfident.
Yes, I'm also going to hit you with overconfident.
Yeah,
Those are two
really
weakness tags.
overconfident.
And I think I'm going to hit you with paranoia again because like you're climbing the side of the building, you're about to like enter the place. So that's 3 weakness tags, 7 power tags. It's a massive roll. Okay, go for it, Lyra.
I'm scared. Okay.
Okay, sick. 13. That's
Nice.
also a great success. So as we see Lyra literally like has vanished, right? And I think that the camera like moves to your perspective as like we're seeing you pull yourself like directly through things, right? There's points where like you're slipping in and out of like the edge of the building, right? You come out like the other side and grab like a different thing of scaffolding. You're like climbing up like the like cables that are kind of holding the like, you know, window washing platform that ascends and descends off the side of the building, right? And then like we cut back to Jonathan, who's just like these wings beating as he like hovers through the air, circling around the building, the red lens like glasses over him. So Jonathan, you succeeded with the power of 4. That's 4 clues. What do you want to ask here? What are we looking for?
First, I want to see, like, with this 4th office, did they have, like, I don't know, big maps on the walls, or like any, like, kind of those old like, do they have suspects and
The
stuff?
murder
Just like
board?
pictures of
Yeah,
people's faces. Yeah, one of those.
There is a murder board. As you come like flying up to the window, right? The light is kind of like low and dim inside as it's night. I think that the room is mostly lit from like the glow of like monitors and kind of televisions. It's not like that blinding mirrory light. But yes, you see like one big whiteboard. There's a bunch of like faces and pictures and lines kind of drawn.
Do I see us? Are we on there?
Yes, that's 2 questions. There's a murder board,
Yeah,
and
that's
you're like
fine.
peering. You can't recognize like a lot of the faces, but like as you look distinctly, there's like the swoop of like you know, Lyra's blue hair. There's like Escher's magnificent like mane, right? There's like a picture of like Nick in the scrubs, you know.
I want to know, like, what else are we seeing in the office that doesn't seem to be related to that? Like, that's not those. I guess what other things are hanging on the walls?
Oh, what else hanging from the walls other than that board right there? I think that you see like another whiteboard that's kind of like gridded out into rows and columns, and there's like a list of names like going like kind of vertically down in the first column, and across the top of it you're like looking and peering. It looks like locations, and I think you recognize like there's like agent so-and-so, agent Anderson, special agent Anderson, you know.
Very special agent Anderson.
Yeah. And I think that like you see like Agent Anderson, special agent Anderson on there with like locations cross-referenced across it.
It's like a logic puzzle.
Yeah, a little bit. And then the last clue. Is there anything in the room that just strikes me as outright like dangerous? Does it look like there are like weapons or anything like out and about, or is
yes.
it okay?
As you're like looking around through the room, like you're like moving, we see you flying, like rotating around. Like as you get like a pitch, you catch just like another angle where you can kind of see through a door that's like cracked open, and I think we see in like the shadowy light of what looks like almost like the illumination of like a fish tank kind of glowing in the area. You see what looks like you know, like an assault rifle leaning up against the wall, you know, like some even like Kevlar. You see a couple of vests like sitting on like a shelf.
Gotcha. Ooh. I guess since those are about like the 4 clues that I get, I'll fly back down because I can't even see.
Okay. You can't see Lyra. Lyra has
Yeah, Lyra just literally disappeared.
Unless you've flown over me, and then I have dust.
oh,
Oh, that's true. I would ruin it.
So as you then begin to descend back into the alley, the camera kind of shifts over, and Lyra, at this point, you find yourself standing in this space. I think there's a point where you peer back out through the glass, and you see the form of Jonathan Trenchcoat flapping beneath the wings. You know, the motes of light kind of falling off of him as he hangs out there. Where you have 4 clues as well.
Yes. I will say first, she breathes on the window, writes hi.
That's fantastic.
I'm in,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's definitely overconfident right there. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, what's the layout?
What's the layout?
Of this
That's one of your questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so the layout, there's one big central room, and you see a door that has a bunch of locks on the back of it, right? It's got the classic kind of interior hasp, kick-in lock, but you realize okay, there's the door handle, there's the pitched lock over it, then there's another big lock above that, right? And then basically there's an office off to the right. There's 2 rooms off to one side of the room. You're in this big sort of central area. There's a couple of desks with computers set up on them, and there's 2 office rooms off to the side, it looks like.
Okay. Can I look on the desks?
Yeah, you can, but give me a more specific question. What do you...
Okay. Are there documents? What kind of documents are on one of these desks?
Okay, as you start peering over the desks, I think you're finding a lot of printouts or whatever, but I think that you do find yourself the stack of manila folders are kind of sitting in next to one of these computers, and you grab it up and start flipping through them, and yeah, I think probably the first one up is Iggy. You know, and it's Iggy in his chef's uniform, and you peer in the next one and oh, yep, there's Nick. It's just a short kind of what do you call it? God, what's the... Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kevin. That was going to escape me for hours and make me berserk.
Okay. All right. Gosh, I want to find out, I want to know who is doing this.
That's a big question. So what I will say to you is when you make an investigate move and you start asking questions like that, one of the ways that I can respond is to give you a good lead. And so where you're you're okay, you've got the dossiers, and now you turn and you look over at the murder board, and you realize the 5 of you are kind of separated off to the side, but then you see a couple of the victims, and you recognize a few of the names that Agent Johnson gave you tonight, though not all of them. But in particular, I'm sorry, one second, I'm bouncing around through documents. Amelia Rogers rather, appears to be the woman who was killed tonight. There's a picture of a grisly kind of torn apart crime scene. Lucius Danthorpe, victim number 2. You see a couple of other pictures, and you're looking, and you see now that there's a map underneath it, and all of the murders are happening in the same kind of neighborhood in the docks. It's all consolidated to one area. So that's your lead. It's not an answer to who did this, but clearly it's happening in this kind of consolidated space down by the docks.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess for my last question, I want to look for yeah, I guess I'm looking for the person who's running this special task force. So are there any
Yeah. Yeah, I think as you like are like, oh,
Special
who's
agent.
running,
Like things like
who's
that.
running the special task force, and you're like, we see you like looking around. Maybe you like pop a couple of the computer screens on. They're all password protected. You're like right. You like flip through like some of the paperwork. You're looking. You see the room, the door with like there's like an assault rifle in there and like Kevlar armor and stuff. But then you look at the door next to it, and there's just a nameplate on the door next to it, and it says Archibald Erastus.
Archibald Erastus.
That was one of the names that David asked us about.
Okay. All right.
Is Lyra saying anything out loud while she's going through any of these papers?
God, I hope not.
Does she talk?
No, I
does
don't
she talk
think
to
so.
herself?
Yeah, probably actually. Yeah, definitely. She's overconfident. She's like had a couple beers. She's invisible. So like the
Amazing.
papers, like you just see the papers like
Yeah.
you know, flying like yeah, no. She's overconfident.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so with that, are you just heading back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I think
so.
that as like you like wraith like an insubstantial begin to make your way back to the ground below, the scene cuts to the three of you fast friends, Nick, Esther, and Iggy. You're like hanging out at the corner in front of this building, right? Traffic like coming past you, taxis, people kind of pushing past. There's a street vendor like selling food over across the way. What happens? Is there anything of note in these like beats in this little moment here?
I think for Nick, he at one point looked at his phone earlier and had a text that was from Samantha that's just like, where are you? That he looked at and considered responding to, and then just turned the screen off and put it back in his pocket, and then went back to like talking with Iggy and Escher.
Amazing. Okay.
Do you guys need any food?
I love it. Iggy's the mom friend.
He's great.
We're just saying, we're just kind of hanging here. There's a vendor there.
I'm not gonna
the
lie, I could
highest
probably
quality food,
use some
but-
food. I'm not gonna make it to the dinner I was gonna plan on going to tonight. So yeah, I could probably use something to eat.
Oh yeah, we're keeping you from your parents' dinner.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I'll see him later. It's not a big deal.
You know what? I'm surprised I hadn't thought of this before. Anytime you want me to cook a meal for your family, let me know.
I would love you to cook a meal for me. I don't know about you cooking for them. That would be interesting. Oh man, that's almost funny and worth a try. But not you. Would definitely be them. Just to let you know.
I'm very good at what I do.
Oh, I believe you. My mom just might have opinions about which food is better.
I'm sure I could learn a lot from her. I could actually. I would just leave it out there. But I'm gonna go to the vendor and pick up just a handful of things for us to munch on.
Shawarma
Yeah.
all around.
It's exactly.
Shawarma?
It's
Yeah,
totally
exactly.
shawarma.
Totally.
Exactly. You understood that reference.
You
It's in the
understood
movie.
that reference. I love it. I love it. I love it, Seth.
I think Escher is mostly just like quietly sipping a beer and like trying to do research on their phone, and like glancing up towards where you can maybe distantly see Jonathan up around the 12th
Yep.
floor, not getting involved in this family cooking situation conversation.
You're not volunteering
happening.
to participate in that? Nope.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, definitely not.
You're very like.
Gonna sip a beer, gonna eat some shawarma, gonna mind their own
I
business.
love it. And so I think that with that, like Jonathan, you like descend to the alleyway the wings like vanish, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I think they kind of just fold back under, and then it just looks like they just like kind of turn into the
Yeah.
trench coat. Like I think it is they are separate, but they just kind
Yeah.
of, and then I shrink back down and get back into normal human
Yeah.
size. And then just like it is very cramped again, trying to stretch out of it. But yeah, he walks over to the other three. He's yeah, they know who we are, and they're looking hard. They got guns and stuff, and
Guns,
all sorts.
great.
Yeah, I saw
Great.
them.
Ugh.
Oh, this is escalating quickly.
Were there others? Did they have? I mean, is it just us or?
Oh no, it's a whole spider web up there, man. Like it's a big conspiracy, and they got yarn on the walls. They got like names and addresses.
Oh.
This isn't
Okay.
like
Okay.
it's
Yarn on the
like
walls.
yarn.
If
Uh-oh,
there
we've
are,
reached
if they are
yarn
responsible,
levels of
if-
serious.
Mhm.
that's how you know it's a big deal. Was it red yarn?
They got so many colors.
Oh God.
That's
Okay.
worse.
It's really going deep. Okay. I mean, if they know who we are, they know who other people are, and people are dying. We have to do something, I guess, right? We have to try and warn people.
Iggy comes back with a armload of food.
Oh man.
Oh, thanks.
Shawarma.
How do we know who to warn, and how would we find them?
I think it's like at this point, Lyra, it takes you a little longer. You're not able to like move as quickly as Jonathan can
No.
in terms of like you have to physically ascend and descend this building, right?
I was gonna say, and like you guys are like on the street, and like a little time passes, and you hear like the classic like there's like a slamming sound, and then the cat going. You see Lyra like kind of like stumble out of the alleyway, and like you see her kind of try and compose herself and walk over. Yeah, wow. What a shit show up there, you guys.
Yeah. Wow.
The interesting thing seems to be that all the deaths are taking place at the dock. It's not like the people's homes are being broken into, and people are like they're either being taken to the docks or lured to the docks or something.
Yeah.
So it's
And
not
these-
like so as long as we avoid the docks, we're fine.
I mean, we
Right.
might be, but what about the other
I
people on
guess.
that
Yeah,
list?
we have a responsibility to check the list and
Twice.
try and inform these other people to not go to the docks at the very least for a
I have a
start.
feeling they're not going to the docks. That's the thing.
And more alternative and more dangerous plan. We go to the docks and catch the guys that are doing the murdering.
Do you know? Do you know, Jonathan? Are the murders taking place at night? I assume so.
That eludes me. But I think tonight's did, so we've got one at least for sure.
I mean, if the murders are taking place at the docks, and I'm assuming it's taking place at night, and the victims aren't from the docks, odds are the docks are somehow tied to the killer. So maybe we'll find something to do with the killer at the docks, not at night.
I also want to bring up Archibald. Yeah, hi. Archibald Erastus.
That was one of the names that the guy said.
Anderson said, yeah.
Yes.
That was
So-
the last one, I think, but
Yeah. So if I saw it was a nameplate.
Like an office? Or a door or something?
Yeah.
Not very
So not a-
subtle.
So
Not a victim.
maybe a victim.
They took
maybe-
over his office.
Yeah. Parents, sibling, coworker,
Or maybe he's in charge.
big boss. Maybe.
Nick takes out his phone and opens, I don't know, let's say Lugal. And
Yes.
looks up the name Archibald Erastus.
I think that
See what hits.
Yeah.
that gosh, I have to think for a second. If this is like indicative of a move or not, if this is like another investigate.
Using the internet.
It shouldn't, right? But like, I'm just looking.
Cthulhu has a library use roll. That could very well be a thing here.
Okay. I think you look up the name Archibald Erastus, and Archibald Erastus is a business mogul, like multi-billionaire, like Walton Bezos level tycoon, like mega
Okay,
money.
well, he's
Yes,
someone rich, so he definitely sucks.
yeah, indeed.
It doesn't seem like he would have been at the library. He has people to look stuff up.
He is not on the list of like that you got from Zelda. Yeah.
Names.
Yeah.
So it's this. So
Oh.
Should we try and find? I mean, this might take a while, but if we try to find out where these people live, see if anyone lives in the near the docks, maybe figure out where the ones who died are from. If they're going out from like a center point outwards in terms of people, maybe they're working their way, whoever's closest to the docks, out in terms of like finding them and doing things.
yeah.
The only thing, I'm not convinced this list is useful to us. That's the only. It's like, for it to be useful, it means like after they were affected by whatever we were affected by, they still have the wherewithal to check out a book. That's the thing, that the only hesitancy I have.
I mean, there's no harm in trying, I guess.
Were any of the names on the list, Rich?
Any
of the dead names?
Yes.
The dead name.
That's
Amelia
good.
Rogers.
Yes, Amelia
Yeah.
Rogers, and also Lucius Danthorpe. Yep.
Huh. What books? Never mind.
Amelia Rogers was taking out a bunch of children's books for her nieces and nephews. Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
I do remember that.
Were they next to each other on the list?
No.
Okay. I think step one, we need to find at least one person on this list to talk to them. See if they are, in fact, like us.
Are there phone numbers?
No. There would be maybe the library card number or something like that. You know what I mean?
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is our working hypothesis that this is tied to whatever happened to us?
I mean, that's my hypothesis.
Yeah.
Then maybe we start with whoever's name, because they said there's timestamps on this. Maybe we start with whoever's name is closest to the time where we know something happened.
Yeah.
Very good
That
call.
seems smart.
Let's try it.
Very good call. Okay, so what exactly is happening here, I guess, is my question.
So about what time did something happen to us?
You
on
tell
that day?
me.
The incident.
What time was the incident?
6:30 p.m.
Okay.
It was at 6:30 p.m.
Okay. Got it.
And what name on the list is closest to 6:30 p.m. with or without going over?
The name is Justin Tennick.
What was the last name?
Tennick?
Tennik. Justin Tennick.
T-E-N.
Can we find where this person lives? Asher, you do computer things.
I make.
Oh, you want to find where this person lives?
Yes, Iggy, I wish for you to do that. I need you to do it.
We need it, Iggy.
A little bit of social media searching will usually tell you quite a lot
Yeah.
about a person.
Yeah, these aren't the ideal. Too many lights.
Too many lights. This is not like a multi-millionaire business mogul, so it will take a little effort to find Justin Tennick, as it were. So this will demand an investigative roll from somebody. I don't know who wants to make it or how.
Well,
And
my guess was Escher. They seem best suited for this
I can do it.
with the laptop and the.
yeah.
Asher knows
gizmos.
things.
Escher does know things.
People to know, like, that you know things and can predict things.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And Tennic seems like it's an unusual enough name that it actually might be pretty easy to cyberstalk. I mean, find them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I will investigate. We'll go with persistent in the face of obstacles. We love that.
We do.
Okay. Gut sense of danger, Rich?
I don't think so. I don't think that there's any like meaning
Okay.
of, like obviously this is a whole situation that's happening, but finding this person, I don't think it's relevant.
There is ever danger, but with this person, not necessarily. Premonitions.
I'll give to you for sure.
Unmatched work ethic.
Yeah, because
If we're digging
you're
here?
not going to be like put off by the there's 37 Justin Tennics on Face Look or whatever.
Easy.
I have insatiable curiosity. That I know structurally that's a power tag here. I feel like story-wise, it means that Escher's going down rabbit holes with each of these
That's
people.
hilarious,
This is an
yeah.
interesting person
Oh,
named
look
Justin.
at this flower garden that this Justin has. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah. Should I use that or no?
I don't know. You tell me. Do you think it fits here?
I mean, I think they'll do the work because they want to figure
I would say
the
the other
things
one,
out.
determination to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To, solve
yeah,
the
you're
problem.
oh, okay, now
Sure.
we have an actionable goal here. I will deal with it, right? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. So then I think we're at 4.
You
Yeah.
are. I don't know if there's any relevant weakness tags. Are there? Probably not. I don't think so. I'm looking at a mission one, but I don't think
not
so.
related to this. I don't think
Nope.
so.
Okay, so go for it. We're big investigators tonight. Investigate with the power of 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are crushing it.
Great success.
We're gonna
4
die.
yeah. Wait till the punches start flying. So you have 4
know.
clues as you're trying to track down Justin Tennick. What do you want to know? What does Escher want to know?
Boy. So what do we know about him already? Just that he was at
That's
the
it.
library
Yep,
that day?
that's it.
That's literally
Yep.
all we know. Okay.
What about the book? Do we know the book?
Yes, they were taking out a bunch of books on do-it-yourself carpentry.
Ooh. Okay.
The challenge is that there's nothing that binds the 5 of us together other than being
Yep.
there. So I have no idea what questions to ask because we don't know what the thread is beyond that. Okay. Has he... If I'm scrolling through pictures that he's posted, is there a drastic shift after the incident?
Great question. The pictures stop after the day of the incident. There's
Ooh.
a whole very active, Instagram thing happening that just whoop, goes dark as of a month ago.
Well, that's bad. Okay, but very useful.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. What was the last thing that was posted?
I think it's a picture of a shopping cart with a circular saw and a power drill and a bunch of hardware in it and it's got the caption, going for it, gonna build my own deck.
A deck builder Instagram DIY.
Well, I think it's the last picture,
I love
of
it.
It's like the shopping cart of stuff on the way out of like the Home Depot or whatever. Actually, Lowe's. We stand Lowe's here. That's like,
That's right.
gonna give this one a shot.
Oh my gosh.
Adorable.
Do we need to search for freak deck building accidents?
Is there anywhere he frequents, like a post that is like constantly where he's just like,
Oh,
at my favorite coffee shop, or
Yeah,
at my
that's a
like
good-
buying
that's a
from
good
blah blah blah.
question. Yeah, because like I'm standing here looking at this with them all around me, right? Like this is happening, not like
Yeah,
some
no,
abstract
sure.
time in
Like
the
you
future.
could definitely like check with your friends for like questions in
Yeah.
this context. Absolutely.
So what's his bio?
Ooh, yeah. I think those
Is-
are both good questions.
Because we're trying to find his address, right? We're trying to see
Yeah,
where
Just
he's
figure
located.
out-
clarify
yeah,
for
we're trying to
me.
find
There's a lot
him.
of there's a lot of conversation happening. So what is the exact
Yeah.
questions that we want here?
I think that's what we're determining.
sorry.
We can potentially look for if there's like a regular spot that comes up frequently in the posts.
Oh yeah, there totally is. Club Delphi.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Okay. Making note of that.
Loving.
And then do we want to find out what the bio says as our final question for now?
Could be useful.
Sure. Let's do that.
The bio
just-
on like the socials, basically, it's like definitely like I'm just gonna paraphrase, yeah, but it's like the extent of like early 30s, like single, like single and looking to mingle, love smash and bruise with my boys, what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I like smashing brews with my boys.
that look.
Well, he's certainly a
Maybe
type,
we
that's
don't
for
have
sure.
to go find him.
I mean, are we looking at Facebook or Instagram here? Does it say where he works?
No.
Nothing like that.
Although they are linked.
All right, so I think that's our 4 questions, right?
And I think that
The post stopped that day. The last post is all his construction supplies for his deck. He's a bro in his 30s.
Oh man.
It goes to the club.
But a bro who posts pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, sure.
He's trying to be an influencer.
Yeah.
Should we? I mean, I guess we the only lead we have then is to go to a club.
I was gonna say, it's
I think it's
nighttime.
at this moment as you're all kind of like standing around. Escher has the laptop out, right? The like light from the laptop washing over kind of the 5 of you. The cars like racing by, the brake lights and the headlights bleeding into each other. The mist hanging thick, cloying all around you. The like big info board down in like the intersection, like rolling up again. Captain Fantastic 6 this summer. July 6th, catch it now. And I think that is where like
I got to pre-order
the
tickets.
scene like I think that the scene like fades to black right here and like credits roll, starring. And I think that this is where we like engage in like our final cool thing of the night where we're gonna geek out during the credits.
Yes.
What does that
What
mean?
it means is,
Yeah, what does that mean?
as the credits roll, I will go around the table, and each of you can answer one or more of the following questions. I think if you scroll down a little bit on the actual back page of our Roll20, you'll see it here in the bottom right, geeking out during the credits, if you want to read it. But essentially, each of you may choose to answer one of the following questions. How has the crew grown during this session? This would be like a question, if you answer it, you can recover your burnt library tag. Or you can mark attention on your crew theme, which is how we evolve your crew theme. Then individually, you might go with which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character this session, and then add 1 help or hurt point depending on that. And then the final one might be which of your themes is under the most strain. If it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place. This one might be a little like forward for us for where we are right now. But so yeah, to that end, why don't we start with Iggy down here in the bottom right?
Okay. How has the crew grown this session? I think we've formed stronger ties at the library, both to Zelda and maybe now the key to the library. So I think we've strengthened the bond to our, I guess that's location.
Yep, to your headquarters. Yep.
Whatever B
So the
is.
question is, do you want to like advance your crew tag with attention, or do you want to recover your burnt library tag?
What is advancing the crew
The
tag
idea is
mean?
like each of these themes, whenever attention is marked 3 times, we're gonna like literally choose an advancement. And so there's a bunch of options. We'll look down a list, but like that's literally like look at it as leveling up. You know, this is how you unlock like more abilities and make your stuff kind of more formidable.
This feels a little bit more like advancing towards some sort of level up or advancing towards an advancement. So I think attention.
Okay, so all of you guys should mark attention on your crew theme once, as Iggy is like indicating how. And also your library tag is burned, right? If you want to click the little fire icon. Okay, cool. That was Iggy. Escher.
I think, interestingly enough, I think the character that had, I don't know if it's meaningful interaction more than like, I was impressed with the way that Lyra talked to the guys. And I appreciated her standing up to them when they were being like creepy and scary and douchey. So can I take does that count? Can I take a help point
I think
for
so.
that?
I mean, that was like a kind of group interaction right there. I think you could take a help point with Lyra, given the fact that she was able to impress you. Cool.
Cool.
Sweet.
Which brings us back around. Jonathan, how about you?
Yeah, I think I want to try to recover that power tag. A way that we grew, I mean, we were looking to see on our kind of like crew identity is the question, are we the only ones? And I think we kind of grew and answered that tonight, that like we are not alone and other people like us are being hunted. So I feel like that kind of bonds us immediately together as like, it's not just us and we have to do something.
Very cool. So you guys can all recover that burned library tag, and then I will hassle you this week for us to maybe like evolve that question a little bit more.
Cool.
Which that brings us up to Lyra.
I'm going to say, Jonathan, I think we made a pretty good team.
I think so. Good little spy duo.
Yeah, I think that made a good team, and like, you know, we had some good ideas. Let's stake out the building. Let's, you know, some really solid ideas and not reckless in any way. Yeah, I think that I'll take help point
With Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Okay. Cool.
Jonathan.
Cool. Cool. Which leaves only Nick. Nick, what do you got?
Yeah. I think this, for me, it's the crew thing again, but I think there's a level of trust that was developed considering Iggy and the rest of us basically covered that Escher was not there, quote unquote, to the agents. So I think there's a level of trust that's developing amongst the crew. To even if there are butting heads, we still at least are looking out for each other's, sticking up for each other and such.
Okay, cool. So you guys can mark attention again on your crew theme. I like this notion that you guys are all really like going in on this, like your group together, right? And the implications of that and that growing stronger as a unit. I dig that. I like that a lot, actually. Cool. And so I think that is where we leave the series premiere of Kings of Neon. That was cool, you guys. Was that fun?
That was
Yeah,
that pretty
that was
fun?
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay.
That was
I
so
ne-
fun.
I like that two of like both Lyra and Jonathan got to show off, at least like two people got to show off some stuff about their powers, even
Yeah.
if we don't outright
Little
say
bit.
what they are.
Right.
I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that a lot. I like wasn't sure there were a lot of like different directions to go, and this is very like improvisational for me. Like you can kind of see it where like I'm not like running you down along the line. So like I'm like looking forward to sharpening those skills a little bit and learning you guys a little bit. So I could have like some measure of like predictive analysis of like what the hell might happen. You know what I mean? But I thought this was like a really fun start. Like the build up is nice, not too slow. There's some tension. There's clearly like some big questions going on.
Kind of mystery to solve.
And we got a good old classic murder mystery, right? With a bunch of other mysteries
Yeah.
like wrapped up inside of it.
Yeah.
Who the hell is Archibald
Like
Erastus?
threat of our own death.
Who's hunting us? Like, what's going on here?
And
Can
the
we
idea of like
trust
trying to
casual?
to try and like find other people to like hopefully help / save them and see where that goes.
Yeah.
And we're probably gonna get to go clubbing the next episode.
Yeah! Get hype! We cannot
my
leave
God.
our houses because we're American, but next week we go virtual clubbing.
Clubbing.
Yes.
This is why this
Yeah.
is great.
I can't wait to see Iggy in a club.
I love it.
Yeah, this is gonna be
He's
interesting.
like, can I come
character
behind the
stuff.
counter, please? Guys, you help back there.
I love it. We really had a lot of cool people in the chat being super hyped tonight. Like I see Todd, like the weird inside me is dying to know everybody's powers. Good. Then we did a good job.
The rule book during this session.
It's really exciting. It's a really fun game. I'm really excited to dig into it more. I hope like that we played with the rules enough that like you're starting to get a feel for it, right? But the big things are like conceptualizing juice and like how to use story tags. And then there's some other interesting things that we'll talk about more. There are big moves like stop holding back, where you just unleash your mythos and like let your powers really come like crashing to the forefront. And then like this notion
That
of
will be
change.
bad.
It could be bad. Might save everybody's bacon. So we'll see. I'm really excited to kind of dip into this more as we go, though. But I guess with that, like we'll begin saying goodnight. Let us go around from the back. I'm going to start with you, Zed. Do you have anything cool going on? Anything you want to promote? Where can people find you? Where can people, connect with you and your stuff?
People can find me at Hard Rock Hope on Twitter. I'm also very present in the Post Show Recaps patron Discord, which I think most of you are already in. But if you're not, you should join us.
It's great.
Start of a month is coming up. Patreon.com/Post Show Recaps to come hang out with us, where basically this whole crew also plays D&D. And you can find my podcast in all podcast feeds, where Josh and I are podcasting about Final Fantasy VIII at this point. There's a full season of Final Fantasy VII. If, I don't know, that's more your jam, maybe. But we're having a good time talking about it anyway. So that's what I'm up to and where you can find me.
Kurt, how about you?
I am at Kurt Clark with 2 C's on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the Twitch. I may start streaming some Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, nice.
Yay.
And the new season of Fall Guys just came out, which is like Neon
It
Theme
is.
season 4. So I'm like,
Ooh.
Cool.
Synergy.
Synergy, exactly. I believe that a group of us are going to be starting podcasting about Top Chef. I think this is like our 7th or 8th season podcasting about it. It premieres this Thursday. So got that going on.
And that's going to be on Rob Has a Podcast? That's through like the Rob Has a Podcast network, or where?
Yeah, I believe it's through Reality
Okay,
TV wrap-ups.
cool.
But yeah, it's through that network. And I think that's about it.
Very cool.
Oh, you can find me here on this stream on Monday nights
sure
at 9
can.
Eastern.
24 hours from right now, we fire up Firelight Tales episode 11. Titans airs, nearing completion.
Oh my gosh.
Cool. Sheldon, how about you, sir?
Yeah, you can find me at Sheldum on Twitter and Instagram. my name, but it's just dumb. And I just joined the post show recaps Discord. I'm brand new there, so show me everything. I'm still
New
very
D&D character coming and within the week.
Oh, I can't
assume.
wait. That's going to be exciting. Sheldon is the only person
Yeah.
I've not played any role-playing games with before, just tonight. And so it was awesome, man. I love it.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. This is a cool crew and an amazing community. So this is very exciting to be a part of this.
It's delightful. It's the easiest way for me to make friends at this stage of my life is to like hang out and play role-playing games with people. So like I love it. I love it.
Oh, and one of my cats came to visit. This is
I
Niffler.
Hey, Niffler. Huzzah.
Yeah,
You
that's the
There-
internet.
That's
Black
the internet.
cat.
back, in the back, I started hopping around.
It's a strong,
Got a little wind up and
it's
a
a
jump.
very strong naming convention. Taylor, how about you?
Find me Rania422 on Twitter. I write stuff. I have a blog. I make stickers.
Stickers are cool.
And first of the month, I will be joining the Discord
Yes.
and getting into
Yes.
this. I can't. I
I
need
did.
it.
We were
need it in
talking
my
about it
will.
yesterday, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Like, hold on, you should wait till the first."
Oh crap, Sheldon! I should have told you to wait till the first.
Anytime's a good time, but
Doesn't
the
matter.
first is the best time, right? So cool. Cool. Yeah, tomorrow night, 9:00, you will be here,
Yeah.
Taylor, playing Eerie Vandrin Silverspark, the tiny gnome, and clearly toughest member of that entire adventuring group. So I'm excited.
That tracks. That always tracks. Gnomes are the best.
Yep, Zed does love a gnome.
First gnome and first wizard.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Kevin, how about you, sir?
Well, first I want to just thank everyone for watching this. This is really great. I appreciate everyone taking out the time to watch our shenanigans. So that's always excellent. I hope you continue to tune in each week. As for plugs, you can follow me at Kev Mahadeo on Twitter. I have a podcast. Some of you might know. And beyond that, I'm gonna plug shows. Everyone should watch Kim's Convenience,
nice.
which I'm just
Yes.
about to wrap up. All 4 seasons. Phenomenal
Mhm.
show. The Mighty Ducks just
Mhm.
started. I highly recommend that as well. Cobra Kai, I just finally am watching. I finished the first season. God damn, that show
Oh,
is
it's so
insanely
good, right?
I-
That first season's
wish-
I saw your
incredible.
Facebook post. I couldn't believe you hadn't watched it.
Yeah, I slept on it too long. And yeah, I think that's as far as show plugs. I'm about to start Invincible, and I'm really excited about that on Amazon Prime. Phenomenal comic, so I'm really excited to check out the adaptation based on a Robert Kirkman book. Robert Kirkman and Ryan Otley, and oh man, I'm blanking on the other artist. I think there maybe Otley mostly, but anyway. Yeah, so those are the plugs I'm gonna make. Everybody watch these other
You should
shows.
watch these other shows.
You want to plug your website?
You should.
Kevin?
Kevin's website's
Yeah,
got great
sure.
stuff.
I really need to update it. I haven't updated in a little bit. Trying to get back to the writing. You can check out themahadman.com where I post a lot of my writing, some of my published comic book work. I've been writing comic book scripts and other stuff too for people to check out. But yeah, please give me the clicks there. That would be great. Thanks for reminding me, Zed.
Got you.
I read a bunch of your stuff on there. It's very good. I can't wait to hear you podcasting about Falcon and the Winter Soldier this week. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think this episode was good.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to
Just
that.
recorded it earlier
But yeah,
today.
in case it's not obvious, we stand post-show recaps over here. They're really cool people. Go check them out. Their Patreon is very cool. I just also want to throw a little love to Sabotage the DM. They're
Yeah.
like streaming us right now. They like hosted us through the stream tonight. They've been great friends of us, connected to me through Kurt. There's really awesome people over there like running that show. They're running a weekly D&D game that they're in Dragon Heist now, right? Is that correct, Kurt?
Yep.
And
Yep.
and they're just awesome, right? They're all like dramatic people with like great instincts, great storytelling chops. They're wonderful performers, and they've been super supportive of us as we're getting up on our feed here. And they're good friends, so cool people. Go check them out. And to everybody that stopped by tonight, thank you. Really, I can't tell you how much it means to me to like have you guys show up and be there and quack 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 in the chat. And so yeah, just show up and do it again next week. And if you want to see some D&D tomorrow night at 9 p.m., episode 11, Firelight Tales, the Titans Heirs is the adventure, and it's going to be a good one. these poor like adventurers have been wandering the mountainside being hunted down by an army for 10 freaking episodes, and they finally just met like a whole crew of dwarves, 13 dwarves as a matter of point.
That's a lot of
It's pretty great. And then a bunch of them died,
Interesting number.
but then they were saved by the cleric. Was like, nope, we need all 13 dwarves. And so I can't wait to pick that up tomorrow night.
We need Thorn and
Wow.
company.
Gotta collect them
We
all.
do. To that end, I say thank you to you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you to everyone in the chat for hanging out with us and being so supportive. And we will catch you next week, episode 2, Kings of Neon.
Thanks, everyone.